HCTV Sports is supported by Biermeyer Financial Management, Retirement Planning Expertise.
First goal of the year goes for the Raiders.
Oh, beautiful shot there. Nicely done. Gets the pin.
Oh, was that beautiful? Onside kick, and it's recovered by Hastings.
And he's rung up for strike 3.
Double alley. Touchdown Raiders.
And good evening, football fans, and welcome to McNamara Stadium at Todd Field as we get into week number 4 of the 2022 Minnesota high school football season, featuring the Hastings Raiders and the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. My name is Nick Tuckner, alongside Owen Ely for the broadcast, as the Raiders are getting ready as we speak to head out to the tunnel, through the tunnel, and onto the field. And Owen, you and I tonight are in for one, because we know that there is tradition between these two teams in many sports. One of the sports that there isn't really that tradition, if you will, of winning and success, it's in football. And the St. Thomas Academy Cadets football team for years has had our number, but back in 2012, almost to the date, Hastings beat a Cretin-Derham Hall team they were not supposed to on this very day, and now they'll have a chance again here tonight to knock off one of the Titans in the state of Minnesota. And as they bring Owen in, this is going to be something. I mean, this is something where you're at home playing against a rival who's had your number for a while, and it's time to prove yourself in your own district and in the state of Minnesota.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no time like the present. Obviously, you mentioned a lot of the history, but ultimately none of that matters here tonight. We'll see what these boys can do out on the field. You know, they had a little bit of a bump on the road last week at Simley. Didn't get off to the greatest start, but rebounded really nicely at halftime. There's a lot of things to like about how that team played in the second half. And, you know, I think the closest they got in the second half, they were down by 2 touchdowns, but they scored a touchdown. They converted on an onside kick, and the game felt darn near tied at that point. You know, the momentum was really on their side, so I'm excited to see what they do. It's St. Thomas. They're a very good football team. They're always going to be right up there for the state championship, and you know what you have to do to stop the St. Thomas team. It all starts with the offensive and defensive line and stopping that St. Thomas run attack.
St. Thomas at 3-0 right now when it comes to Section 3-5A. They're leading the pack and perennially the 1 seed. And right now they have a good lane to that 1 seed already at 3-0, a win tonight against Hastings, who would all but lock that up, believe it or not, already at this point of the year. You look at Kennedy, my goodness, a team that we knew last year was on the rise. Now at 2-1 overall, a couple of big wins for Kennedy, and the Eagles are flying early on. Speaking of another set of Eagles, Apple Valley, whom Hastings beat on the road a couple of weeks ago in a mishmash of 1 and 2 teams, with Hastings 1-0 in the section in that win against Apple Valley, getting the leg up right now if you want to look at seeding as of week 4. But as you and I both know, Owen, every game means something when it comes to seeding, the QRF, whatever formula anybody uses. A win here tonight against St. Thomas would do wonders for what the Raiders want to get done.
Oh, there's no question, and obviously still kind of early in the season, but a little later than you think. There's not so many games, and 1 and 2.
We'll start things off with the kick. It's high, end over end, left to right. Raiders will grab it on the return, come back up the middle. Johnny Bezdacek has room, and there he goes to 40, to midfield, and he's taken down there, but a great opening kickoff return for leader Johnny Bezdacek. And Owen, that's what the Raiders needed out the chute. Get some energy in their system, something they couldn't really do early on at Simley last week.
Absolutely, and the crowd here is energetic to begin with, and that's what you need. You need to energize the crowd. You need to send a message to St. Thomas that they're here to play.
Bezdacek, he'll also be split out wide for the Raiders in a 3-receiver set, just like they have the first 3 games of the year, going back to the same thing with Bezdacek, Cooper, and Jack Lutier, who's really stepped in nicely for Hastings. Peyton Burrow, the setback, he will work out of that pistol formation. Rico Cooper will split out wide to the right side. In the slot right, that's going to be Bezdacek. Near side will be Cloutier. Out of the gun, Danny Milner, senior quarterback. He is a captain, and out of the gun he waits, so we're going to get a whistle. And we might have an official's timeout here. I don't know if the play clock maybe never started. It didn't. I don't think the play clock ever started, guys.
Well, that certainly is an interesting start to the game.
Well, and then that's just something that after that jolt of electricity, that 50-yard return gave you, now you get this little, what's going on, slowing us down a little bit. Even that little bit of uncertainty, if you will, can throw a team off. So let's see what happens here. White Hat, he's looking in here saying, I don't know what they're doing. Now the outside, one of the side judges. I know Matt Reinisch is on this crew. And he, too, a former Raider. They're going to say a flag. So delay a game. So they were keeping track, I think, maybe of the play clock on the field. So Hastings will be penalized 5 yards. And see if we can get the play clock rolling and maybe help the Raiders and Milner early on. So you get the big return and a penalty.
Yeah, well, that kills a little bit of the momentum, but still in a favorable spot here.
Burrow still the single back, out of the shotgun, work the pistol off to the left side. This time 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Cooper, the single wide receiver, out split wide to the right. Handoff goes to Burrow. He'll find the hole right side, gain about 3-4 that back, maybe after forward progress. We'll see where this is spotted. And that was something, too, just watching you guys from the comfort of my own couch last week, Owen, is that getting Peyton Burrow going is such a huge thing for Hastings. When Peyton Burrow is moving those wheels, he's getting chunks of yards. The Raiders, 9 times out of 10, are going to win the game.
Yeah, well, winning or losing for the Raiders starts and stops with Peyton Burrow, especially because he's a bell cow back. I mean, we've seen the last couple of years you've had lightning and thunder with Burrow and Freiermuth. Now he's in the big boy spot here, and they don't really use a RB2.
Freiermuth now at Valparaiso, trying to get onto the field as a young freshman. We'll keep our tabs on him. And big brother Chase playing hockey as well. Here's Milner back out of the pocket. He'll escape. He'll find room. Oh, he got clobbered from the far side there. On the tackle for St. Thomas was number 25, Jackson Circoglu. Again, that is one of the top players in the metro area when you talk about defense. Had a big game against Hastings in the playoffs 1 year ago. He comes up and makes the big stop right away. And Circoglu's going to be a guy we're going to have to watch all night long.
This kid's a menace. He's been on the field since he was a freshman, played in many big games, but that was a savvy little move there from Milner, just taking the yards that they give you. It's very important to move the chains against St. Thomas because getting chunk plays on third down is a little bit difficult.
St. Thomas always with top talent. Being a private school, you can find it from all over, and this is no exception, and a very good team. Out of the gun, Milner, quick 3-step drop. He'll pass. That one's tipped. Rico Cooper had a chance, not once but twice, and he didn't see the tip coming back up almost into his hands as it falls harmlessly to the turf, and we're going to go to 4th down. And the Raiders around midfield throughout the year, it's kind of been a coach's choice. You know, sometimes they'll say, maybe a pooch punt. They've used Milner on pooches early in the season. First game, they used Danny Milner, almost out of a long shotgun and try to get it down deep, and it worked. So this could be who knows, from the 50-yard line. Milner's out there, so we'll see if they maybe drop back and pooch punt this one, being so close to midfield, or if they actually go. Yep, so he's going to drop back again. And now here's Milner, pooch punt, soccer player as well, of course. He's got that down. Caught on the run. Nice grab, thrown down at the 30. Was number 4. That's Anthony Bickford, another senior, 3-year starter for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. And he really tried to open up the lane up the middle there. But again, the Raiders closing the gap on special teams. And for a majority of the season, Owen, the Raiders have been spectacular in kick coverage.
Absolutely. Bickford, one heck of a basketball player as well for St. Thomas. Obviously, we talked about this on the volleyball broadcast.
Right.
A lot of 2-3 sport athletes for both of these schools.
Gotta have it. Here's St. Thomas. And this is Max Sims under center. Low down into that crouch. Back to pass. Pass is near side. That pass is caught for a minimal gain out to the 35-yard line. That's Luke Dobbs. He's a junior receiver in front of the Raider bench. He'll make the catch, not quite for first down yardage, but nonetheless, Sims at the completion to try to get in rhythm early on for the Cadets.
Yeah, just a great play there by Sims. Really nice coverage there from Peterson with nearly a deflection, but just kind of threaded that one nicely.
Not a team known for their passing. They're more known for the big home run hits when it comes to run, put you to sleep, and then on the outside they sneak an 80-yard bomb in and dagger your heart. This time they're going to go off to the offset eye, left side. Back to pass. Sims off his back foot will throw it up. He's got a man wide open. It's caught. Caught for a first down out to midfield and then some, maybe out around the 46 of Hastings, and another catch for Luke Dobbs. He's got 2 so far, and he looks over at his sideline saying, hey guys, let's pick up the pace, keep it going. And St. Thomas on the run.
And that is a nice throw. It is awfully hard, especially in high school, to roll out to your opposite side and complete a pass. People really take that for granted, so that's a brilliant play there by Sims.
A lot of pro set I formation you'll see from time to time. They like to use the bruising up back. We'll see that quite a bit. And, of course, with McLean Lauber back there, he can also carry the football. He's been in the end zone a couple of times. Here's a pass to the backfield. That thing's going to be caught by guess who, Love Adebayo. And he was stung himself on the play. Big hit there by Alton Majetic, who comes in, makes a great stop. And, again, the Raiders need to continue to hit Adebayo. You got to get on him. You got to make physical contact with him, like they did right there on a big stop. Actually, in on that play was Vinny Zion, so he makes a big stop.
And Adebayo is the circuit glue of the offense.
Right.
He's been there since he was a freshman, sat behind Danny McFadden, who was a great running back, and now it's last couple of years it's been his turn to.
There's been a tradition of Adebayo boys running the football, too, at St. Thomas Academy. Also, Savion Hart, you can't forget about him. Back to pass. Here is Sims, puts it up left side, incomplete. Looking again for the aforementioned twice already, Luke Dobbs. This one incomplete. And this will be 3rd down and 7 as the Raider D looking to kind of get back what they got there after that first drive stalled just on the other side of the 50.
Well, that would be a heck of a win if they could stop them here on 3rd and 7, because typically, St. Thomas being the dominant team they are, once they get the lead, they don't generally give that lead up. So
that's the thing with this offense. They get a lead, they find a way to keep the football, the clock, and then the score. It's happened way too many times to too many teams, and it's not just us. I formation, 2 receivers, twins to the left side. Handoff up the middle. Up the middle he goes, and he's off to the races. Right side, Adebayo again. Thrown out of bounds at the 15-yard line. And a big first down there for the Cadets as they, from 3rd and 7, pull up now into the red zone, 1st and 10, Cadets.
Well, and that's the beauty of doing those rollouts to try to negate the pressure up the middle, is that it forces the defense to kind of spread out a bit, and they're Adebayo just going up the middle, and that's a big swing play. Instead of stopping them on and forcing a 4th down, now they're well within the red zone.
So low to the ground, so powerful. Not a big, tall back by any means, but very powerful. Out of the backfield again, under center, gets way down to that squat. There is Sims again, looking to pass, thought about over the middle, no, flushed and taken down and sacked. Sacked on the play by Clemens, and that'll be a loss of a couple and a big play defensively, knocking him out of the red zone. Hastings, a big D play here in the red zone.
Yeah, that's quite the squat. Looks like he's about to power lift or something. And with a mobile quarterback, listen, if they get to the outside, they have the option to run or throw. It's very dangerous. We've seen a lot of teams struggle to stop mobile quarterbacks, so a great play there by that young man Clemens.
Anybody that remembers in the Suburban East Conference when we play White Bear Lake and Bob Jackson's offenses over the years, they do that with their quarterback, almost hide him back behind the center. He'd get down so far you couldn't see him, and that's the premise here that they're trying to work with Max Sims as well as he goes under center right hash. He'll work 2 to the right side this time. Single back is going to be Adebayo. Back to pass. It's going to be caught by the tight end over the middle, down to the 5-yard line, and that grab made there by Jordan Wold, another senior, and a big guy over the middle makes a catch, and a 1st down, 1st and goal now for the Cadets.
Yeah, we'll take another look at the play here. Pretty easy play there for St. Thomas. Just looks like that was his first read, wide open down the middle. Solid wrap up there to not allow a touchdown. Great tackle on the back end there by Blake Vandehoff.
He's been pretty solid back there, looking to make a name for himself as a safety this year. Adebayo was trapped in the backfield, gets outside, and finds enough room to get in for the score. Love Adebayo gets in from a couple of yards out, and we have a 6-0 St. Thomas Academy lead.
Well, you'll see here what you were talking about just a couple of plays ago. Here's the speed to move to the outside, and then there's the power laying down the wood to cross that goal line.
Adebayo, 3-yard touchdown run, makes the score 6-0. And that'll bring in for the Cadets Declan Wilson, right-footed kicker, junior. Where's the number 96? Snap good, spot, kick, all good. And it's 7-0 Cadets here in the first quarter, so not ideal. Raiders get a great kickoff return to open the game. Stall just on the other side of the 50. Give the ball back. St. Thomas and Love Adebayo, along with a couple of nice little Sims passes to the outside, running some curls and some outs, and they get enough as they trot in from 3 yards out Adebayo. But that almost looked too easy early on, Owen.
Yeah, there's going to have to be some adjustments made by Hastings. There were some nice things on that drive defensively, especially that Clemens tackle on the outside, but slowly but surely they kind of work their way down the field. And, you don't want to be hyperbolic here and overstate the importance of this upcoming offensive drive for the Raiders because, well, there's plenty of game left. But, again, this is a very high-powered St. Thomas offense. This is a well-coached team, and, you get down 14-0 nearing the end of the first quarter. That's not the end of the world, but that's certainly a tall task.
Here's the thing, though. Nobody's punched back this year against St. Thomas in their 3 games. I mean, they've gone, shutouts and gave up 7 points. I mean, somebody down the line is going to give them the kind of the swat across the head, if you will, saying, hey, you guys got to be on your best game or someone will get you. Raiders got to answer here and get on that train. Squib kick up the middle, taken by one of the Raider upbacks to the 35. To maybe the 35. On the return for the Raiders, one of the upbacks, again, we mentioned his name earlier, Alton Majetic. He is a sophomore that was called up and put on the roster for Hastings. He's a big boy, gives the Raiders some length and size, makes a nice special teams play, even though it seems maybe a bit minor in the whole swing of the game. Again, getting him as a sophomore some touches is going to be important.
Well, and St. Thomas knows exactly what you were talking about because they didn't want to get punched in the mouth on a long Bezdicek return, so they'd rather just settle for the ball at the 35 and deal with the Hastings offense.
Milner puts a man in motion across the near side. They're going to give on the jet sweep, and that's Bezdicek 35-36 out of bounds in front of the Raider bench. And on the tackle there, too, for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets is number 61, James Brennan, one of their senior D linemen. So this time using Bezdicek's, state track team speed to really get outside, but only a couple, and they're going to find ways to get him the football tonight.
Yeah, well, you got to get your ball to your playmakers. He's the 3rd leading rusher on this team, which is kind of crazy to say, but after Burrow and after Milner, he has the most touches, and didn't quite work out that time. You get 2 yards, but that will likely pay off in the future.
Bez in the slot right as they go right to left. Now the pass is going to go to Bezdicek, makes the catch 45-50 across midfield, down near the 40-yard line. Big catch by Johnny Bezdicek, and we just talked about it. Raiders know they got to get their hands, the ball into the hands of one of their best playmakers they have. And again, just a great look, quick throw, just where nobody but Bezdicek's going to catch it, and he gets through, and again, into enemy territory, and this is where the Raiders got to make some bread here.
And that is exactly how he scored on about a 75-yard touchdown last week at Simley.
Johnny Teglin recently celebrating a birthday, snaps the ball, giving it off to Burrow, and he rumbles ahead. That's what we like to see out of 32. He gains 8 or so. We'll see where the official spot is, but boy, get him going, get those legs going, because a mean Peyton Burrow's a fun Peyton Burrow to watch run the football.
Well, and they gave him a little break on the 2 plays to Bezdicek, and he's a bell cow guy, so it's a lot of responsibility for him. So when you get that passing game going, that really opens things up for Burrow.
And not just, I'm not saying 8 yards a carry here, fellas, but I'm saying even 5 would be so important. And he's been stuck at kind of the 2-3 yards per carry mark the last couple of games. We'd love to see him open one up here. Out of the shotgun. The give, Peyton again. Left side, Hash kind of runs a man over, takes one with him as well. Finally taking him down there is going to be Bennett Katak, and he will again stop him, but not after a gain of a couple, and Peyton Burrow getting us a first down, and that's all we needed right there.
Yeah, they're driving, and listen, with the state of field goal kicking and punting at the high school level, you drive down to, say, the 40-yard line, I mean, you're pretty much automatically in 4-down territory, even this early in the game.
Be nice to see the Raiders find a way to get right back in the face of St. Thomas here with a score. Out of the shotgun, Milner fakes the handoff briefly, looks out. Rico Cooper had it in his hands and knocked away on a fantastic defensive play there by Mark Rogalski. Rogalski gets the hand in there, clean play. And he was kind of double duty last year as a D-back and a kicker. Didn't do any kicking so far here, I don't think. But again, a great play on Rico Cooper, just getting the hand in where he needed to.
Yeah, and that's a tough throw. Obviously, if you're Cooper, you would like to catch that one. But that is pretty good coverage, especially with your back to the receiver. It's hard to play the receiver.
And he's so athletic, too. He will make that catch and show the fans here what number 6 can do here, hopefully right here on this pass right side. That's going to be caught there by Johnny Bezdicek, and he toes a man by the jersey down a little closer to a first down. I'm going to say a gain of maybe 5 on the play. But here's Milner again rolling right. That's his strong side. Johnny made the catch. With forward progress, he might get about 6. No, they're going to say 4.
I'm not too sure about that, but that was good route running there from Bezdicek, and he had a Springer there holding on for dear life to the jersey. Nearly ripped his jersey off there.
PA man Manny Hill just said 5-yard gain officially. So now 3rd and 5 for the Raiders. Getting down deep here, just shy of the red zone. Ball spotted at the 24. Raiders back to pass with Milner. Throws it up, and he had a man in double coverage. And Johnny Bez trying to out-jump his man. Now it's 4th down, and this is about the spot where we've seen the Raiders go for it quite a bit. And Hastings now, 4th and 5. It's not unmanageable by any means here, Owen. You're going to have access to a little more of the playbook, but you're not thinking necessarily getting in the end zone. You're thinking get a first down here.
Yeah, again, and that's to the point of what I was talking about earlier. With if you get down to this part of the field, it's 4 down, so you don't have to panic on 2nd or 3rd.
Yep.
Yeah, 4th and manageable.
Raiders have the ball in the right hash with Burrow, the single back. 1 receiver, short side right. Back to pass, 2 receivers there. Into the corner of the end zone where nobody was. Bezdicek was looking for a flag, potentially for a hold or some kind of interference, but there was obviously some sort of miscommunication there by the Raiders. And that's one of those things that'll chomp at the Raiders, but you also got to say, okay, we were there. We were on the doorstep. Need a stop, but we can get back down there and get in the end zone.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell from our angle up in the booth, but yeah, I really wish I could have saw what happened with Bezdicek there. And Milner, I mean, he had great poise in the pocket there, not panicking as there was pressure coming from that far side.
They'll connect again. We know that. Out of the I formation will be the Cadets in the backfield. Hart, I believe. And he does have the football left side, enough for a first down and maybe a little bit more. And that's that Thunder and Lightning, boy. You get those 2 guys. Number 1, Adebayo. Number 2, Savion Hart. And those guys both can run the ball very efficiently. And right there on his first carry, Hart gains a first down.
I mean, these St. Thomas running backs, they're just like clones. Every single year they come up. All of them are equally as fast, can stop on a dime, have good power, do not shy away from contact either.
Where do they get them all? It's just amazing.
Wow.
Right.
I don't want to say.
But but it's just amazing. Even if you uncover them in some diamond mine somewhere, yeah, I mean, it's still amazing. No doubt about that. Into the backfield now, another one of their fullbacks, as this time Hart is taken down. It could be a flag. Yeah, that's going to be a flag. A face mask or a horse collar, unfortunately. And we'll see what the officials say as they come together.
And that really stinks, too, because you probably didn't need a horse tackle to get a tackle for a loss there, if that is indeed what they...
Well, the official towards the backside, it looked like he said horse collar, and the other official mentioned face mask, and they're going to go with a face mask, and it's a 5-yarder. But still, that's not what the Raiders needed in that particular instance. Is they motion Packer that time. He wears 29 to the backfield, and they really like to use those up backs, and they like to hit people. I'll tell you that much. And right there, just out of the grasp, literally, of a tackle for loss. First down, call it 7. Added the 5 yards to the tackle for loss. That's why you get 1st and 7. Handoff Hart. He goes ahead for about 4. Good tackle on the play. Austin LaFleur got his hands in there, and of course, utilizing some of that wrestling technique, got a takedown. Wish we could get 2 points for that, Owen. It's not going to happen here. Maybe this winter for Coach Hanneberg, but a nice tackle nonetheless.
Well, and the LaFleur blew up an offensive line before he made that tackle. That was one heck of a one-man army-like play from LaFleur.
Lauber now joins Hart in the backfield as the rotating fullbacks, H-backs, whatever you want to call them, that they use them as, particularly in this offense. 2 receivers right, all fumbled a little bit as he took the snap, but Hart will go up the right side. LaFleur another tackle as he comes flying in there from his defensive line spot. Got some help on the play too from Creed Peterson, fellow wrestler. And the Raiders make a nice tackle, not a huge gain, but Hart found his hands a little bit and got to midfield.
Maybe a little lucky that a face mask wasn't called there. Couldn't really tell from our angle, but you see the head twist, and that's a little bit of a giveaway.
Out of the shotgun, they're going to go pistol too this time with the back behind the quarterback, and they're going to go on an end around to the left side, and this will be a gain of about 7. Running the football from the receiver spot was Alex Stanley, and trying to incorporate a lot of these talented senior players into this offensive equation. And right there, a little bit of tomfoolery from St. Thomas, but the Raiders still, got in there, made a play.
Yeah, you got to love the creative call there, and I really appreciate him going north to south, because a lot of people would go east to west, and sometimes you can get a big play, sometimes you get stopped for only 3.
High formation, handoff will go to Savion Hart. And he'll get up the left side, enough for a first down, gain of about 6, move the clock. We're under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter, with St. Thomas leading 7-0, and the Raiders hanging in there. Their second drive better than their first, building a little bit of offensive equity, if you will. Just no points on the board to show for their hard work. Lauber, the up back. Savion Hart, the deep back, tail back the pass, and he'll throw it back towards Hart. Makes the catch, 40, stiff arms a man, gets out to the 35, carries a couple guys to about the 33-yard line, and a punishing run from Savion Hart.
Well, and this just highlights the importance of gang tackling, especially with these powerful running backs. A beautiful stiff arm there, but look at how many players it takes to wrap up Hart.
That is the mantra of cadets running the football for years. Power, speed, yes, but the power thing has always been there. Coach O'Brien now here for the last few years has really put together another strong stable of backs. This time, this is a wacky looking pistol this time, with 2 back stacked left, pass thrown left, caught, and for a first down, another receiver making his way into the equation here, and that's Michael Stavseth. He is one of the juniors for Coach O'Brien's offense, and another almost easy catch that time, breaking off of that coverage and kind of bumping off and finding room.
Yeah, and that was a creative play, creative formation, especially for high school football. And you saw the Raiders defense pre-snap, they were trying to communicate. They had a little bit of confusion on where to line up for that one.
They'll stack an offset eye with the fullback as a tight end right, and they'll run to the right side. And here comes Adebayo to the 5, and he's in again. Love Adebayo's second touchdown of the game puts St. Thomas Academy ahead by a score of 13-0, and a great run for Adebayo from 23.
And look at the balance from Adebayo. Look at how he turns on his hips. I mean, he looks like a speed skater getting low to the ice. I mean, that is elite speed, dexterity, whatever you want to call it, and that is a crushing touchdown here in the first quarter.
Oh, and Adebayo has both. And he has a lot of both, and he showed us again right there as to why he again will be an all-conference or all-district selection. Snap, good, spot, and kick are the same. It's through, and it's 14-0 as Wilson puts it through. And this is kind of at that weird spot where it's early. You talked about it even after 7-0. But now you got to find a way to answer. Things against St. Thomas can unravel on a team. It has the first 3 games for St. Thomas, and they would love nothing more than to get some of their subs in after halftime.
Yeah, and I'm sure their subs are almost just as good as their starters, like always.
Right.
So it's not going to get any easier, even if they put them in later in the game. But now you're at the point. You don't want to panic. There's still plenty of game left to be played. Crazy things have happened, but this is the point. We saw a couple of years ago where they made that onside kick against St. Thomas. Now you're gonna now it's not just enough to play well. You're gonna need to kind of go out there and take some chances, maybe make a surprise onside kick, which we've seen them attempt a couple of times. We saw it last game. So now you kind of need to play well, play disciplined, don't get a penalty. They did a really good job last week. I think only like 2 penalties, and they happened in the fourth quarter. So you have to be disciplined, but you have to actually go out there and kind of take the game away from St. Thomas at this point.
We saw the Raiders in their huddle there after the score and after the point after Tom Cross, as the kick here is squibbed again. And it bounces down to about, over the head of Burrow. Oh, no. And the Raiders, Peyton Burrow does fall on it, but the Raiders are in trouble, and that's what a squib kick can do. It can cause havoc, and that's exactly what just happened. And now the Raiders will have 90 yards to go on their 3rd drive of the game, and that's just a bummer, and you don't want to see these things continue to unravel.
Yikes, yeah, he just in the nick of time, he dove down there. They're trying not to kick it to Burrow, trying not to kick it to Bezdacek after that big return on the opening kickoff, but also has the added benefit of kind of being a knuckleballer down there, and that was a really dangerous bounce there for Hastings.
We saw one of the Raiders in a hoodie, sweatshirt, and jersey on the sidelines. That was Pacer Rubel with the kind of the chart. He was taking a lot of the chat in the huddle there. And again, they need him back. Pacer Rubel, we need him healthy for playoffs, and he would be a huge asset the rest of the way. As a handoff here goes up the middle, and Peyton Burrow, a nice gainer after that tough play on the muffed kick. And I think this is going to wind down to the end of the first quarter, Owen. We'll have to take a look here and see, but I think this should run out on the Raiders, and we'll go down to the other end here, down on the Walgreens side, if you will. And that will do it. And we're going to go to the second quarter. And here at McNamara Stadium at Todd Field, your Hastings Raiders are trailing the St. Thomas Academy Cadets by a score of 14-0. This is high school football on Hastings Community Television and Town Square TV.
Push that trash that way, not this way. Come on.
Oh, hey there. Do you like HCTV?
That's one small step for Hastings and one giant leap for community television.
Do you want a custom video that promotes your business or organization and gives you the results you're looking for? As an HCTV sponsor, our staff will work with your business or organization to create a custom video to promote your brand. You also have an option of getting a shout out in every sporting event we cover. And that's 3 points for your business. So support HCTV today! Go to hastingstv.org/sponsors for more information or to give a one-time donation.
Welcome back to high school football 2022 on Hastings Community Television, also broadcast tonight on Town Square Television. Hastings and St. Thomas Academy in the opening run of the second quarter. Didn't go too far there as the Raiders were looking to, did they get, we'll have to see with forward progress where this ends up, because the Raiders only a yard short of the first, no. He's going to be short. This is going to be, you almost have to probably, I don't want to say, maybe utilize, I don't want to guess here, because this is a tough spot on the field for Hastings, and now Burrow's been bottled up here in the second quarter.
And they were not generous with that spot either.
No. Back to pass. Milner over the middle. He has a man caught. Oh,
Whoa!
Hit! Huge hit on the play there by number 12, Jake Borman. One of the biggest hits you'll see on a Friday night. And somehow, some way, Jack Cloutier hung on to the football.
Well, it was relatively smooth sailing on the pass, the catch, but then the hit. Wow, you don't even see hits like that in Madden anymore.
The sophomore Cloutier got up. There is a flag for probably, personal foul. That's a 15-yard penalty, too. I hope he got up and he looked fine, but you're talking about a young sophomore who's made some big plays already this season for the Raiders. 5'10", 155, and that might be generous in the 155. And Cloutier got just pasted under the helmet. But that, I mean, man, that's football sometimes, isn't it, Owen?
And some.
You have to be tough to play this game. I mean, there is no doubt about it. I don't care if you're talking high school, collegiate, professional, little Raiders. I don't care. You just got to be tough. And right there, Cloutier showed that. Gavin Oddman will check in as Cloutier gets looked at. Oddman, a 6'3", long body, long arm receiver who also pitches for the Raider baseball team, has checked in, and he can be a weapon. We have a penalty, and I think this one's against Hastings. Well, dead ball foul and a false start against Hastings. Yep, so, all right. One step forward, getting the first down grab and the big pop, but now we'll back them up 5, 1st and 15. Raiders still with the football.
And I'd say the 1st and 15 matters more than the spot on the field, especially against the St. Thomas defense.
Right now, especially 14-0 your score. Milner fakes the handoff to Burrow, rolls strong side, near side right. This is caught by Rico Cooper at the 48-yard line in front of the Raider coaches. Assistant coach Todd Levis picks him up and says, "Nice catch, buddy." And Rico Cooper, a huge grab, maybe one of the biggest of this game so far for Hastings.
And he's been a great part of this Hastings offense ever since he was a sophomore. Look at the great catch with a defensive back right on him. And, you know, in high school football, obviously we see a lot more running than we see passing, but Hastings has legitimately, they're 3 deep at wide receiver. They really do have some options.
And like I said, you could say 4 with Gavin Oddman out there, split out wide to the left right now. He could give you something, and I want to see him in the end zone. Handoff up the middle. Burrow got a little bit. Hey, a little extra push. That Raider beef on the line comes up, gives him a little extra. Maybe got him across the midfield stripe, but I like this. A little tempo, a little bit of, hey, come on, we're going to hit you right back. I like this out of Hastings right now.
And I love the man in motion. I love the option. It seems to be giving St. Thomas a little bit of difficulty. Yeah, I agree. This tempo is nice here for Hastings.
Pound them, pound them, pound them, and when they pound you back, get right back up. And we've seen that now from Hastings. As the Raiders come out again, 2 receivers left, Bezdacek and Oddman, with Oddman split out wide to the left side. Cooper, near side, short side, that's the right, and out of the gun is Milner. He has a tight end out there as well. And now, handing it off. It's going to be, losing his footing in the backfield, unfortunately, with some help from St. Thomas and a couple of their linebackers burrowed down. He'll lose a couple.
Yeah, less than ideal execution, but I do appreciate that he just kept trying to go north to south because, you know, if he would have tried to go to the outside, maybe he loses 3, 4. It looks like they're going to punt it here, but...
Punt team is in, so it's not like we're trying to throw them off with our offense, kind of like what we did earlier on with Milner. Now, Reifenberger is not, he's injured, so Raiders are going to have to put a new punter out there, and this is going to be off the side of the foot, not a long punt at all. This is going to net us about, 15 yards maybe?
Yeah, I think if you're Hastings and you know that your punter is injured, that's probably a scenario where you would rather try to just go for it on 4th and 4.
I couldn't. If the guys have a replay on the punt, I'd love to see it because I wanted to see if that was Majetic 46 or Zion 48 punting there. I'm not sure which We won't be able to see it, but it was one of the two back there punting, which was kind of cool because, like we said, when Reifenberger got injured, it was nice to get a guy back there to punt for the Raiders. New quarterback in the game, that is Noah Erickson, the senior. He throws a dart right side. Caught there, oh boy. And a big punishing stiff arm, call it a forearm shiver by number 29, Cody Packer, and the fullback out of the backfield. These guys look like Penn State, not St. Thomas.
They are bruisers, that is for sure. And Erickson, a guy who has seen playing time sporadically, so, you know, although if I was Hastings, I would take a little bit of disrespect to the fact that they're putting in their backup quarterback with 8 minutes in the second quarter. I'd try to pop him in the mouth here, but this guy's no joke either. I mean, he saw time under Dayak.
Each of these guys can play at the varsity level. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So Coach O'Brien feels comfortable with either man out there out of the eye. This time, pass over the middle, caught. That is caught at the 40, taken down at the 38-yard line, and it's Luke Dobbs again. He has had a very nice first half, maybe the player of the game so far for the St. Thomas Academy team.
And I don't know how much Erickson was warming up, but this is a thing of beauty. Just sling it down there, open. You got 4 guys around him. You'd like to make that a little bit more difficult for the offense.
We'll watch Dobbs throughout the game. Again, he has been glue on the outside, and now he'll be wide out to the right, near side to the left. That is Daniel Dahl. Back to pass. Erickson for the end zone. Overthrew his man. Raiders had a couple of hands on the receiver too, and I think even on that instance Hastings had one of their guys looking back, and that was Cloutier. Nice to see him first of all on the field playing the other side of the football after that big hit, but making sure he didn't get a flag out there either.
And this goes to what you were talking about at the beginning of the game. It's so formulaic, but it works so well for St. Thomas. Run the ball. They have been passing it a little bit more today, but once a half, they will try to burn you over the top, and a lot of times they're actually quite successful.
There's a team across the border in Wisconsin, Somerset. The Spartans are the exact same. They will run the ball 98% of the time and then burn you with a 92-yard pass. And this time it'll be Adebayo. Flag comes in. He's going to get a first down and then some. There he goes. 20-15-10 trots into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the game. But I don't know if this is going to stand here, Owen. We're going to have to take a look and see what this flag is all about.
Yeah, I got a funny feeling it's going to be a holding. Anytime the play is a little bit delayed, running the ball to the outside, and you have all those players shifting to one side, if I had to guess.
That's coming back. Our head official will come down towards our home press box, and he will motion that it is a illegal formation, and that's just fine. Not a hold, but that's a penalty against the offense, and that's all the Raiders care about. And the Raiders fans coming to life. You can kind of feel it, Owen, here on Tackle Cancer, Parents' Night. We're pinked out. They're starting to kind of feel like they're still in this game, even after a penalty where they're like, hey, let's just find a way to get a stop now.
You do not have to give these fans much of a reason to cheer. You just got to do anything. The fans here are, when it gets cold out, and, real fans come out when it's cold. So anybody who's making the trip out here, not the worst night ever, but they want to cheer.
Peyton Burrow just came into the locker room and then ran back out. He grabbed a pair of gloves. Something to watch here. Nice play. Raiders in the backfield. Austin LaFleur. Hello, Frankenstein. Comes up, makes a big stop for the Raiders, and that'll bring up a huge 3rd down now for the Hastings defense. And look at LaFleur. He kind of stunts back, thinks maybe I'm not going to come. Yes, I am. Shoots in there, and what a great tackle. And he gets some help from his best buddy over there from the wrestling team in Creed Peterson. What a nice stop for Hastings.
I think it really helps for LaFleur in this defensive line that they played Simley and played that massive D3 offensive line, because it's like swinging with a corked bat. Now you go up against these smaller guys for St. Thomas. It's a little bit easier.
Mama calls Austin Frankenstein, hence the nickname. Catch on the right side, but this is not going to be enough for a first down. And now it's curious time for Coach O'Brien on the other side of the 40, call it the 38. What do you do here, 4th down? Do you try maybe throwing it up and seeing if you can get something here, a pass interference, or because really Hastings' offense hasn't done that much. Give him the ball back with 6 minutes in their end. You roll your dice and say your defense can do it. Very interesting spot here, and they're going to go ahead and go for it. Split 4 wideouts, 3 to the left. Back to pass. They moved. They moved early, and this is going to be a false start off the right side of the line. Yes. 72 offense, reading the lips of the official. And again, see, just get the fans into it, get everybody on the sidelines believing it and feeling it. The guys that are not in the game kind of saying, hey, let's go. Just feel that energy, guys, and ride it here in the final 6 minutes. So 4th and 15, 16 here for the Cadets, and now you almost have to punt it, don't you?
Yeah, I think, that's a small penalty, but it does push you further back. I mean, you got to wonder how good your coffin corner kick is. So I agree with going with it on 4th down prior, but now I think it's probably the right move to just punt it.
They haven't had many big hitting plays, so from 15 yards out, just kick it away. And again, trust your D, and that's what Coach O'Brien does here, as they're going to let this one Raider bounce back to about the 30, 29 and a half, if you will, and it's down there by Jack Springer, and the senior DB will tuck it down. We'll say it about the 29, 1st and 10 Raiders. And let's make a little noise offensively here. If you're the Raiders and you really want that pink crowd going crazy here in the second half, let's pop one in here and really get nuts.
I agree, and there's only one man on my mind right now, and that's Bezdicek. We've seen him. He's got home run ability. I'd run him up the field, maybe 10 yards, have him slant to the inside. That's how he had his nice catch today. Right. That's how he had his home run hit last week.
And this time, Bezdicek goes slot left. Raiders out of the pistol with a running back, Burrow, off to the left in the shotgun to Milner. And the pass, shoe top? No, not a shoe top grab, and Jack Cloutier, the sophomore, who really has been good this year, just couldn't come up with that shoe top grab. We'll take a peek at this one again.
Well, they're running one of my favorite routes, which is basically just slanting to the inside. If you can run it right, especially at the high school level, it's so easy. We see so many go routes that are just below 50-50 balls, so I'm surprised they don't run more curls, more hooks, more slants, and just a little bit too low there.
If you got the D-backs playing soft, you'll take that shot over the middle, and half the time you're going to be in front of the D-backs anyway. By the time pass gets there, throws up a deep ball left off the hands of Johnny Bez. Owen, you called it beautifully. There it was. He was moonwalking into the pirate ship, and instead it's 3rd down.
That is a bit demoralizing. He had him beat too. I don't know, maybe he would have got caught trying to reel that one in, but that would have put you in prime position even if it wasn't a touchdown, and that is, you just got to forget that one.
He will too, because you know what he's going to do, right? He's going to make up for that with another big play. And this is what Johnny Bez does. If something goes wrong, 10 will make it right. And I know right now in third and 10 situation, you might even see him right here. Raiders, 3rd and 10 from the 30, their own. Out of the backfield, Burrow almost moved too early. Milner finds room. He puts up another deep ball. And this time, in coverage, Johnny Bez can't come up with it. And I can't be too sure that wouldn't have been thrown out of bounds anyway, Owen.
Yeah, that is a very, very tough throw to make. That is pretty far down the field. He got his feet planted, but that is solid double coverage right there.
Danny just chalked up another long ball, trying to get something on the Raiders sideline here that we could really shout out about. And unfortunately, this is going to bring up a punting situation. Now I got to take a peek now if I can get a little look at the punter, a little closer look, because 46 and 48 look so close on these numbers, and it's 48. So in fact, it is Vinny Zion punting, and this one will be fielded by Jake Barman, and he's thrown back. Nice play on special teams. Hastings Raiders, and Majetic is down there. No, he wasn't the punter, but he was one of the first on the scene. Raiders also had some help there. Wyatt Berg, one of our tight ends / O linemen. How about that? Getting in there on punt return as well. Great defensive play on special teams.
He was going nowhere. Great gang tackling. They're averaging 35 yards a punt. That is well over their average. That is a very, very good punt. I would have liked to have seen them, when you have that many players wrapping up a player, maybe try a Peanut Tillman and try to just punch that ball out of there. But a solid play regardless.
You read my mind to us. If you just see any little bit of leather, just give it a pop, see if you can find something. And right now the Raiders are going to call timeout, and they're going to take their first. So right now the Raiders are trailing 14-0, but Owen, you just have a little different feel right now. The rain is now coming down. You have a little bit of a thing where you're like, hey, this is our home. This is our place. And now with the weather the way it is, you want to take this game over.
Yeah, listen, it's well, we'll get to that in a minute. But we'd like to thank Biermeyer Financial. HCTV Sports is supported by Biermeyer Financial Management, Retirement Planning Expertise.
Great people in our Hastings community. Not only great people, but great investment minds that will take care of you and your pocketbook. And we appreciate them, because Owen and I, we couldn't be here hanging out with Hunter and all the other guys doing camera work for us so wonderfully. Of course, Hunter Pinky, Mike Take a Hike, Mike Bramer, I got to say his name in proper terms. Ian Andersack also up there, and it's been fun so far, even though the Raiders are trailing. Get a little whistle here as the rain, like we said, not really a heavy rain, but enough to be a definite nuisance now for the St. Thomas Academy offense. Handoff goes to Hart. He goes nowhere. Maybe got an extra yard there across the line of scrimmage after the fact, but another nice gang tackle. You've said it a couple times tonight, where they just need to keep getting arms wrapped around these guys.
Well, what a game thus far for LaFleur. He is really coming into his own, especially here in the second quarter.
Raiders have a couple of those wrestlers out there so tough. I mean, look at Ian Peppel, number 7. He's got just so much length. You want to see him burst through there and make a big play. He's made a couple so far this year. Clemens now is an outside linebacker, kind of the 5-man look for the Raiders. And back to pass here on second down. Pass is going to be caught in front of the St. Thomas bench. And guess who? It's Luke Dobbs again. Another big grab as the rain continues to fall. And now with 4:35 to go. And we'll have a pitch this time. Hart taken down in the backfield. Creed Peterson there, along with Clemens, stepping in to make another nice play. And now Savion Hart is down. Oh my. And he has a calf kind of wrapped already. Oh, and if you can see on the left leg. So I hope it's not some sort of aggravation. He's grabbing that left leg and knee. You don't want to see that with a, again, he's another one of those all district type of talents. And they got 2 of them in the backfield. You don't like seeing any of them go down.
Yeah, you never like to see injuries. And, with this rain coming down a little bit, I was going to mention how that's going to impact, running the ball, making the football more slippery, but it's going to make the field surface more slippery as well. So, you never want to speculate too much on injuries, but, you hope it's just maybe he tweaked something or...
running back, you always see anything that has to do with the leg, and you just kind of hold that breath and hope he can just pop back up and it's a cramp or something, but to which he was grabbing, that's not a cramp spot, Owen, and I'm sure you've played enough sporting events to realize that you're not going to cramp up right in that spot in your knee. Kind of just hope he's all right here. So Raiders talking with Coach Fritzy, I think, out there right now, and a couple of the other coaches out there, just getting them zoned in here and just make sure that you can find a way now to take advantage of these last couple stops on this drive and build something defensively, maybe get the ball back at the end of the half. But not just that. Let's get out there, play well to start the second half, and then build from there in the final 24 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I think realistically, best case scenario for Hastings here, get the stop. There's a little bit of time left to try to get down the field. You have 2 timeouts. Then let's remember, St. Thomas gets the ball at halftime. So it would be really devastating if they went up 21-0 and then got the ball back. But, if they can get some points here before halftime, that would be really, really ideal.
Hart helped off to a chorus of cheers from both sides, which you love to hear, even in a game where You know, you guys want to win so bad. I mean, the Raiders want a win against St. Thomas in the worst possible way. But still, it doesn't matter when it comes to sportsmanship, and both sides are usually absolutely wonderful. Here's the handoff. Adebayo now is going to have to be the bell cow. Bounces off the pack. He goes out right side. He runs into a couple of Raiders, and it started by number 26, Sawyer Chumsland, who comes in from the outside. No, he wasn't making a big catch in center field or whatever, but he flies in and makes a big stop.
What a hit from Chumsland. And you know, we talk all game about how these running backs for St. Thomas have power. They like to get down. Well, how about that? You go low, I'm going to go lower.
Creed Peterson even gave him a little extra at the end, saying, no. Let's bring up third down. 3rd and 9. You got to like this. Raider fans getting into it as well. From the right hash, out of the shotgun. Sims with Adebayo in the backfield to pass. He looks to run, pulls it down. There he goes right side, looking for the first down. He's going to be very close, and I think he got it. I think he just skidded around the marker. It's going to be extremely close, and if not, it's 4th and inches. So likely St. Thomas would go here anyway if it's 4th down.
Yeah, what a scramble from Sims. And he watch here at the end, he really squeezes out every last inch.
And that's what you're not necessarily going to see from Erickson. You're going to see Erickson throw darts. He's going to be more of your pocket passer. But Sims can really get outside and cause havoc and open up both the run and the pass game.
I'm actually really surprised he's back in the game. I wonder what that was all about. Maybe if he tweaked a hand or something.
They're kind of been rotating on and off, doing this, 2 or 3 drives and back to 1, and just incorporating everybody in and keeping them fresh. And we saw Coach O'Brien, he did a little bit of that last season too. But a carry this time at Adebayo will gain a handful.
Well, some people would contend if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have 0, but clearly that's just not the case for St. Thomas.
No.
Solid run there from Adebayo.
The Raiders still wrapping up the ball carrier at point of impact. That's what you like to see. As soon as somebody gets a body on him, he's wrapped up and he's thrown down on the turf. 2nd down and 3. Out of the I formation, St. Thomas. Here is Sims handing the ball off. Adebayo up the left side. He'll carry a Raider or 2 and get a couple, and I think that's going to be enough for a first down, and it is. 2:16 to go here. 2nd quarter, first half. It'd be nice to get a big stop here and keep a score at 14-0 heading into the break.
Yeah, or how about even maybe a strip fumble or something. We saw, unfortunately, it go against Hastings last week, but that's certainly possible. It's slippery. We know that they're starting to get momentum running the ball.
In the rain, why not? It'd be great to see a huge defensive touchdown here. That would really get the Raiders going into the second half. Back to pass Sims. He's got a man, and it's caught. No, incomplete. What a great play, Hastings in coverage. It's Vanderhoff. Blake Vanderhoff knocking it away at the last possible moment. Great play in the Raiders secondary.
That is tremendous because that really easily could have been a walk-in touchdown.
Oh.
But not only did he stop the touchdown, he stopped the catch. Look at that beautiful throw, spiral, and he just gets up high and rips it out.
Fantastic defensive play there by Blake Vanderhoff in the secondary, preventing a touchdown. And now under center, Sims down into that low squat again. Raiders almost jumped once but twice, and I think they got him the second time. Raiders are going to be offsides. Oh, wait, this is going to be a false start. Raiders were forced to jump. You bet.
Well, any little bit will help.
Wow.
I just want to take this time to apologize for any technical difficulties you may have experienced. This game will be published in its entirety on YouTube after the game.
There's always a glitch or two that could happen. Gremlins, as we call it in the business. We're glad you're still with us. Owen Ely, Nick Tuckner, we're here at McNamara Stadium at Todd Field. Back to pass. This one's caught by Lauber. 25-20, just chugging along to the 15. He'll be cut down about 3 yards short of the first down. Lauber, another, like we said, that fullback, that old school 80s fullback, and that's exactly what Lauber runs.
St. Thomas loves their fullbacks, and that's a great play. We've seen them throw the ball down the field to the sidelines, to the into the flats, but that's beautiful because you kind of hit behind 3 offensive linemen And he's such a big fullback that he kind of looks like an offensive lineman. So he had some blockers. Great play there from St. Thomas.
Another reason why you can effectively run the ball is when you have guys that can block, whether it's linemen, tight ends, we said fullback, H-back, whatever it might be. Those guys are critical. And, of course, the Cadets have run that to perfection over the years. Up next here on Hastings Community Television, we also want to let everybody know about your opportunity on Monday to watch the Raiders soccer teams play. Hastings will be in action on Monday against Two Rivers. It'll be a 5-7 doubleheader. Of course, the girls, what a big win. They got a huge victory against Hill Murray on Thursday night. That is a big conference win for the Blue and Gold girls. Congrats to them. And, yeah, just a fantastic way to win. And Coach Welch's tennis team, a big win as well in conference play against Matamidi. So congrats to a couple of our Raider teams here as we hit week 4 of the football season. Under center, Sims, one back at a bio, and he gets it. Left side looking for room. Comes across the 10 to the 5 down near the goal line. He's short by a yard. And he got a first down, though.
Yeah, well, that's how important setting the edge is, because watch this. He's almost tackled for a loss on the edge, but he just uses his speed right there. Almost grabs him by the feet, and the difference between the outcome is, nearly a touchdown, and it almost was a 1-yard loss.
Being out at the 10 and then being at the 9-10 yard line, the way he turned the corner and just jetted up towards the pylon, that's why he's good. He can cut. He can move and run with power. Now Sims under center I formation. This is where Lauber might get a carry. Nope, they will go to Adebayo for his 3rd touchdown. This one of 1 yard, and it's 20-0 St. Thomas Academy with 1:05 to go in the first half.
Man, I should have started Adebayo on my fantasy team this week.
Right. And again, just when you're from a yard out, you give it to number 1, and you know what he's going to do with it. And he finds the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Well, number 1's only going to do one thing, and that's scoring a touchdown.
And he's in again.
And the Raiders had good pressure up the middle, too. If they would have ran that up the middle, it would have been a loss of 1 or 2.
But, of course, Adebayo, slick, finds that little seam. This kick is up, and it is good. 21-0 St. Thomas Academy leading the Hastings Raiders at McNamara Stadium at Todd Field. Started out cool, crisp, and then the rain started to come down, and it looks like it may be sprinkling a little bit now, but not as bad as it was maybe about a drive ago. But St. Thomas really didn't let the rain affect the way that they were able to produce offensively.
No, they're professionals. They marched up and down the field, got a big touchdown there, and now, again, there's still a half to play, and like I always say, especially when the team we're covering is down. Listen, if St. Thomas can score 21 points in one half,
right,
then surely the Raiders can do that in the second half. But now it's they've been playing well defensively.
Right.
They've had a handful of good plays, but now you're getting to the point where it's tough. It's tougher and tougher. You might need a defensive touchdown. You might need a long Bez to check touchdown. You're going to need a lot more stuff to go your way in the second half.
Owen said it right. I mean, it's not anything the Raiders are doing not right. I mean, it's not like that at all. I mean, I think the Raiders are doing pretty darn good defensively here. Now it's a matter of maybe finding an end zone here. Return by Burrow on the squib, 20-25 to the 30 to the 32, and that's the Raiders will set up shop with 2 timeouts and about a minute remaining.
Well, and that's the reason why Burrow put on the gloves as it started to rain.
Yep.
No fumble that time. Fields that one very cleanly.
So Hastings will look to find the end zone here with minimal time. Coach Jason Cook out there. The offensive coordinator, Coach Strain, now walking back towards the sideline. Took a little listen to what's about to happen here as Hastings will unveil their 2-minute offense, if you will, with how much time we got here.
A 2-minute offense in 1 minute.
1 minute, 1:01. There we go. 1:01 to go here in the second quarter, first half. Out of the gun, Milner. We might have jumped a little early. Nope, Milner pulls it down. There he goes. Right side 40, 45 near midfield, taken down at the 47. Danny Milner, quarterback draw, shows his athleticism, and the Raiders get a nice little first down as we get under a minute to play here the first half.
Well, anytime you're in this scenario, you're obviously thinking pass and you're thinking chunk plays, but heck, if you can shuffle for 18, 20 yards,
right,
well, you'll take it. Especially with the clock stopping on first downs.
Raiders have the clock running now, 36 seconds left. Milner to pass. Oh, it's nearly intercepted by Rogalski. Off his hands, down to the turf, intended for Rico Cooper. And I think now the Raiders, with the incompletion, will get a chance to breathe for a second before the next play. And yeah, just trying to kind of force it into Rico.
I like getting it to your playmakers, but I don't exactly like that call. Even if he would have caught it, he probably wouldn't have gotten the first down, so you probably would have had to have used the timeout there anyway.
No, you don't wind. Why is he trying to wind the clock here? No, that was an incompletion. No, no, you're not winding the clock. Now the side judge is going to come in and say, no, there was an incompletion. Stop the clock. Put 3 seconds on the clock is what he said. So should be 32 seconds onto the game clock. Let's wait and see what they do here. Good call by the side judge, who saw that the referee, like we were, seeing him moving the clock, and no. There we go. 33 seconds officially. Raiders 3 receivers left, one to the right, short side, Rico Cooper. Back to pass, Danny Milner, pressure comes from behind. Pass is incomplete. And again, Rogalski in the back pocket of Rico Cooper.
Yeah, we'll take another look at it here. Want to see how the football rolls off of Milner's hands. I think it just might have slipped a little bit, and maybe that's why it drifted a little too far to the outside.
Rogalski all over the field in the secondary. We kind of knew that would happen coming into this game. He'll be on Cooper again, near side, one-on-one. 3 receivers will work wide to the left side. And Danny will pull it down and run up the middle to cross midfield to the 46. And now you're stopping the clock here with a timeout. But it's 4th down. So unless you, oh boy, you're in a tough spot because you don't want to give it back to him at all. So you probably should have just ran it out if you're going to punt it away anyhow.
Yeah, that's tough too, because there was good pressure from St. Thomas on that. I don't know if we can go back to a replay, but there was good pressure from St. Thomas. But they were playing really, really soft coverage as the snap was coming on that far side, and they had that trip set. And I believe it was Bezdicek. They had the 2 outside receivers going up the field. Bezdicek came back, and he was kind of wide open. Could have caught the ball, got out of bounds, maybe 20, 25-yard gain on the play.
So now you're kind of going to the sticks. I mean, you need a first down, get out of bounds. So it's going to have to be maybe some sort of an out. I mean, if you're going to go for a deep out, make sure that, you're going to have one shot at it, right? I mean, so you're going to want to make sure you're not throwing it out of bounds, or you're going to have to let your receiver make a play, no matter who it is. This is a situation now on 4th down where somebody probably is going to have to do that. Under center and a pitch out. And he'll get a first down, I believe, as Peyton Burrow bursts up the right side. It just, again, uncharacteristic. Raiders rarely go under center. But here, Milner races up out of the huddle and says, let's go. Oddman came in as a tight end on the line, and then they pitch off the other side, kind of bluffing that they're going to go that way with Oddman stacked up as a tight end. Raiders ran that to perfection on the pitch. Nice first down. Raiders will stop the clock with their timeout here, but now this makes it a little more manageable for a couple of chucks into the end zone.
Exactly what I was going to say. That's a brilliant play call. They were not focusing on being down and trying to score a touchdown, just putting themselves in. Listen, you have to get the first down to extend the drive. You have to get the first down to get the touchdown. So they just said, screw it, we're running the ball. We'll use our timeout. And now, obviously the clock stops when you get a first down to reset the chains, but now I think it's just shots to the end zone. You don't even try anything because – yeah, you probably could throw it in the middle of the field, and you probably have another play left, but you got to hurry up. Hurry-up offenses are pretty difficult for high school teams to do. So I think you just chuck it up a handful of times.
Danny's thrown up a couple of nice moon balls deep that have been maybe just off the mark or good defensive coverage. So we know Danny's got the arm to do it. Let's find a way. Let's get one before we go to break. Out of the shotgun, Milner. 2 receivers to each side. He'll go left. He'll put it up deep, and he has it picked off. Intercepted on the play by the Cadets. Jake Borman up the right side. Need to tackle him, fellas. Can't let him go. He gets into open field. No, and he gets tackled from behind. Nice job. Raiders coming in there with Johnny Tegland. He'll make the stop, preventing a would-be defensive touchdown that ends the first half. As the score, 21-0 here. St. Thomas Academy leading. As let's look at some of these first half highlights, Owen.
Well, just a dominant first half for the St. Thomas rushing attack. Love Adebayo with his first touchdown of the game. I believe that came at the 7-minute mark. Got another one here in the first quarter. Kind of rotating quarterback. Sims with the handoff there to Adebayo. Gets around the edge. Again, like I said, kind of looks like a speed skater right there. And then here's the one just a few minutes before halftime. They thought he was going up the middle, went to the outside untouched, and 21-0 here for the road team.
Saw Danny chuck up that one late, but a nice, great play in the defensive backfield for St. Thomas Academy. And boy, they were hoping they could maybe sneak something out as Borman made another great play. He was really good throughout the first half. He and Rogalski, a couple of those guys, we could say a lot of the names really on that side. But the Raiders hung in. I'm not trying to just sell hope because I'm a former Raider. You guys all know that. But the Raiders, if you watch that first half, you saw them play pretty well. And like you said, if St. Thomas can do it, the Raiders can come back, they can get 21 right away and make this thing a game.
And listen, I agree, and I'm a Park Wolfpack, so I think we're in agreement here.
I don't think we're going to hold that against you. Now that I know that Owen's a former Wolfpack, we're going to have to sign up. No, I'm just teasing. We're going to take a break is what we're going to do here for halftime. The Hastings Raiders are trailing St. Thomas Academy by a score of 21-0 at halftime. We will take a short break, be back with more from McNamara Stadium at Todd Field. 21-0, your halftime score. We'll be right back on Hastings Community Television and Town Square TV.
I'm Haley Noring, and this is my daughter, Chloe. We live in Hastings, Minnesota. Chloe will never get to know her uncle, Devin. My brother, Devin, died of fentanyl poisoning on April 4th, 2020. Through Snapchat, Devin and his friend bought what they believed was a Percocet. It wasn't. It was a fake pill made of 100% illicit fentanyl. My brother didn't want to die. My family had to learn what fentanyl was after it was too late. What happened to my family could just as easily happen to yours. If we would have known about fentanyl sooner, maybe we could have saved Devin's life. You still have time to have that life-saving conversation with your children and loved ones. Illicit fentanyl is the leading cause of death for ages 18 to 45. Every 5 minutes in the U.S., illicit fentanyl kills someone's brother, son, father, mother, or loved one. Call 911 if someone you know is overdosing. Call United Way's 24/7 helpline by dialing 211 to find resources in and near Hastings. Contact United Way of Hastings or visit their website, unitedwayofhastings.org, for more resources or to make a donation. You can save a life by working with me and the United Way of Hastings to build awareness and reduce the stigma of overdoses and fentanyl poisonings. One pill can kill.
And welcome back to McNamara Stadium at Todd Field. Friday night football in Minnesota, and it is a district and section rivalry with Hastings meeting up with St. Thomas Academy. And if you watch the first half, you kind of know the Raiders hung around. They played fairly well at times. Just would have liked to see him get in the end zone. And really, when you look at time of possession in that first half again, kind of like last year, You had St. Thomas taking the ball and the clock away, and when they're up 21-0, Owen, this is going to be a big test for Hastings. Get a defensive stop, and you got to get the offense in high gear and into that blue-painted end zone.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to forget about the first half. It's a tall task to come back. They made excellent second-half adjustments last week. We'll see what they can do here. Would not shock me at all if they go onside kick off of the second-half kickoff. They're pretty good at kind of springing those in every now and again. But, you know, this is the one thing that I appreciate about this football team and really every single Raiders sporting team. And I'm not just saying this because I'm, paid by HCTV. But, you know, I've covered a lot of sports, a lot of different places for a lot of different high schools. And I truly, in my 3 years here, have never seen a Raiders team ever quit on a game. So you know that the effort's going to be there. You just gotta embrace the suck. I mean, it's cold, it's wet. Nobody wants to be here. That's high school football in Minnesota this time of year.
Jack Sieben will kick it away for Hastings. Junior kicker, soccer stud as well. Raiders in their LA Rams throwbacks from the 80s will boot it away. It'll be taken deep in St. Thomas Academy territory. Off the right side, then cutting up the hash, finding enough space to get out to about the 38-yard line on the return for the Cadets, and that's Jake Borman. And why not get Borman out there again after his big return on that interception late in the first half where he darn near broke it and went to the end zone and really broke our backs headed into halftime.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good return right there to the 38. You'll take it, especially with this moving machine of a St. Thomas offense, but yeah, snazzy jerseys. I love the jerseys for both of these schools.
Right. Like I said, kind of that Penn State look to STA. Raiders with that wonderful old school throwback to the old Rams teams and Jim Everett and those squads. Flipper Anderson back to pass here. Sims, he'll put it up. He's got a man. And boy, another great catch. And another great catch there by Luke Dobbs. And he is on fire and just having a game.
Who else but Dobbs? I mean, just first quarter, second quarter, now here in the third quarter, he's just out here making plays. Great concentration, too, just tracking that one, knowing where he is relative to the sidelines, and then catching it through a little bit of contact.
One receiver wide to the left side. They're working short side right where there's one receiver out that way as well. This time the handoff will go up the middle, and it's Hart back in the game. Good to see the young man. He got banged up a little bit there in the first half, but the halftime break was the elixir he needed to get his legs back into the game. So good to see. Gain of 4. It's going to be 2nd down and 6.
A nice little cheeky grab in there from Ian Peppel as he was going down, just trying to force anything, trying to force a fumble, just somehow, because you got to win possession at this point. You can't just go possession for possession at this point, down 3 scores and come back in all likelihood.
You need something opportunistic to happen and go your way. Fumble, something with an interception. Fumbled snap would be nice. Sims taking his time, and they're going to do that. That's what they do in the second half of the lead. Back to pass Sims. As soon as I say that, it's a interception that's going to be caught at the 10-yard line, laying out, making a great catch for Hastings is Sawyer Chomsland. And that time, Coach Selesky, he was playing center field, and he makes a great grab and gets it back for Hastings. That is the play, Owen Ely, that we needed.
I mean, I don't know what the reverse of an announcer's jinx is, but that's an announcer blessing right there. I mean, that was perfect timing. He had that awesome tackle for loss early in the first half, and the biggest play of the game thus far. This is a momentum shifter, and now you have to capitalize on this. You still have to go a pretty good distance here, but it starts right now.
That's one of the best interceptions you're going to see all season. I mean, he laid out, and he found a way to keep that thing off the carpet. That was amazing. Just a great grab by Chomsland. Raiders get it deep in their own territory, but called the 10. Here's Milner. He'll give it. Oh, my goodness. Peyton Burrow, as soon as he got the ball in his breadbasket, was scooped up and thrown down by Jeffrey Craig. Just a great stop.
Well, here's another look at the interception, and
wow,
that is opportunity if I've ever seen it. I mean, bouncing through the hands, bouncing up, and then diving out. I mean, you couldn't replicate that twice.
On a wet field. I mean, that's just Nice play. And that's one we'll see on the end of the year highlight tapes, no doubt. Out of the shotgun, Milner. He will hand off again. Burrow will carry a pile, get past the original line of scrimmage. Gains maybe about 3. So it's going to be probably about 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8. Take a look at this one again as they set the tight end off that right side. Again, just took out that first end. And that freed up enough room to kind of cut back into the inside and get a few.
Yeah, it would have been a really nice play on a 2nd and 6, but it only gets you 2 yards ahead of where you started. So
out of the shotgun, Milner. 3rd and 8 officially. Ball at the 12. Hastings zone. Oh, here comes a blitz from the outside, and I think Milner kind of felt it too. There was one man really coming from each side looking to meet up at the quarterback, and they almost did. Put it up for Cloutier, but it overthrew him. And that's 4th down, and a great defensive set here for St. Thomas.
yeah, that is just great edge pressure. I mean, you're lucky to get that type of, I mean, nobody blocked that guy, but that's great edge pressure. You're lucky to get that on one side, but they had that on both, kind of a pincer movement there. And see, yeah, they got the punter out here.
Johnny Miller was the one who came in with that pressure. Zion, first punt not so good, second one much better. Third one, that'll be good too. And then down to the 45 from where he was, that's decent. Across the 40, probably about to 38 before forward progress will knock back Jake Borman, and that's still going to be a short field for STA, and we've seen this too many times as Raider fans. In a second half, you turn the kind of the tail of the field, and now the clock and the running and the Adebayos and the Hearts, and you just got to find another way to make another big play like you just did just a couple minutes ago.
God, it's so unfortunate they couldn't capitalize on that, but this is the drive that determines whether or not you can get back in the game or whether or not we're talking about moral victories in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. We've been there before. Now Raiders are off sides. I think Peppel jumped. Handoff goes to Hart, and he will gain about 8. I don't think they threw a flag. Boy, Peppel really got off the ball then. We'll take a look again. See, Peppel did look like he jumped. They just didn't flag him. Either way, they'd take that run anyhow.
Well, yeah, that's very true.
Just take the run anyway, but now they'll come back out with Erickson. Erickson under center. 2 receivers right short side. One in the slot. Adebayo will join Hart in the backfield. Pitch out Adebayo. He'll get across the 30-25. Runs a man over. Takes one with him out of bounds. As he'll get out around the 25. Hastings had a man there to slow him down. Peyton Lee Dean in there to get a piece.
I love that motion behind the running back there, behind the quarterback, excuse me. That is, I just love that little orbit pitch. Also great to see Savion Hart back in the game. Didn't look didn't look catastrophic, but didn't look very good in the second quarter. But if he's out there, he must be feeling good enough to go.
And the Raiders, a couple guys they've had to bring in, whether it be a necessity, injury, whatever it may be, making some plays here in this very important drive. Here's Erickson rolling out right, strong side on the run, puts up a little screen dump pass, and that was intended in the play for Duffy, I believe, Packer. And it went off his hands, and it almost went into the hands of a Raider, too.
Well, that was a good play design. Just nobody was open until that guy decided to release. I mean, whether it was
that seemed like safety valve all the way. Yeah, you kind of knew I'm gonna get hit. Not gonna get rid of it. Yes, I am. And he gives it to the guy who's closest to him, trying to hope that he'd find a way to get a gain of something, but didn't happen that time with the Raiders defense coming back out. And we've said it a few times, needing a big play. Erickson, hands off, Hart, bounces off a man, spins, not going to get a first down, but he'll gain about 3. That'll bring up 3rd and fairly short.
That was good balance from Hart, and he was gaining yards even going backwards. I don't know if I would start falling backwards with my head leading. That's a great way to get concussed, but evades at that time.
We'll see if the Raiders can get a big hit in the backfield here. Erickson smells like a pass here. Under center they moved. They're pointing at Hastings. Where the Raiders were offsides. Yeah, this is going to go against Hastings. This will make it 3rd and 1. And now the playbook opens that much more for the Cadets. And now this, as the last one smelled of a pass, this one, you got to think Adebayo or Hart could get the ball again here.
Yeah, I'd be pretty hard pressed to imagine them trying to pass it on 3rd and 1. But that penalty is absolutely a killer because, if you can hold them to nothing or maybe get a 1 yard loss, I mean, you're in great position next down.
Under center, Erickson. Back to pass, flushed out right side, being chased to the right sideline and throwing one up, and he caught it. They're going to say a touchdown, and look who it is. Adebayo, this time as a receiver, makes an improbable catch, and somehow Erickson escapes and even throws a touchdown on the back end. Rolls out. He's almost out of bounds. How did Adebayo? He got a foot down. That was an amazing. Well, wait. Did that ball not come out there at the end? Did he finish the play?
It looked a little questionable.
Yeah, we'll have to look at it again after that play. Boy, I thought maybe he didn't finish the play there.
I mean, we can share our instant replay with them. We can go down there. We can flag a ref down. Take another look at it here.
See what they do here. We're going to take a peek as Erickson again flushed. Adebayo cutting in. He was almost running a tight end route like some sort of out. And then he just really runs around finding a way to get open. And then watch the ball. See? It came out. That
is 100% not a touchdown.
That is an incomplete pass. That's why it's great to be on TV. Unfortunately, it doesn't go the way of the Raiders, but that was not a touchdown.
Bang, bang play. Obviously, with the ref shortage, being a ref is a very difficult thing. We never want to rag on the referee because, believe me, plenty of people already do that. It's so tough to see plays like that, but just objectively, not a touchdown.
Goes down as one. Erickson tossing it. And Adebayo receiving it, his 4th overall touchdown tonight. Wilson did make that kick.
And regardless of that not truly being a touchdown, that's still one heck of an impressive play. Throwing midair like Derek Jeter, a Santonio Holmes-like catch on the end zone. And the little pump fake, because if you saw as he was rounding the corner, it looked like he was going to run, and then he took a step back and went to pass, and he kind of faked out the defender.
He sold it so well.
Oh, brilliant.
Kick comes back up the middle, semi-squib. Raiders will work it back out with Payne Burrow across the 30. Carries a man to about the 35. Did the ball come out? Nope. So Hastings will start with the football about the 33 or so. And you got to get it going. Got to have something offensively here as an answer. Or as we all know, this could be over here pretty soon. You got to answer. And the Raiders will come out with that offense and hoping to get it into one of their big play guys again. And they have enough of them that they can make an impact. It's just who will it be and when. St. Thomas Academy has allowed only 7 points this year. Out of the shotgun. This is week 4, folks. Yes, this is week 4. Milner has a man at the slot. Johnny Bez. 50, midfield, 40, 35, track speed. There he goes! Goal, middle. Touchdown, Raiders. Johnny Bezdacek with that Olympic speed, and he runs it the distance. Great pass. The big play guy shows up. Johnny Bezdacek, after missing one earlier, Owen and I said it, he's going to make up for it sometime tonight, and he does it here with a big second half touchdown.
That is exactly what he brings to this team. That is how he scored against Simley last week, that you needed to get that goose egg off of the board. Brilliant play. Great route running to get open on the cut, and then amazing speed to split the difference, split the defenders, and work your way down there. listen, if you're the Raiders, if you had to drive down the field to score, you'll take it, but you will certainly take a 70, 75-yard touchdown all in one. And we've seen when they get momentum on a big touchdown, they love to onside kick right after and keep that momentum.
Jack Saban is good, and Bezdicek, a 65-yard touchdown pass from Danny Milner, and the rest, as they say, was history. The track star speed kicked in, and that was, as we said, a gold medal performance, Johnny Bezdicek. And he checks in with that touchdown, and boy, can he run. He is so lightning fast, and you love to see him find the open field. Now they know it can be done, Owen.
If you want to come back, you got to get your first. There's no two ways about it. If I was the Raiders, I would spam that play offensively. That is such a brilliant play. It's worked the entire season. Easier said than done, but that is just the home run of home runs.
Why don't we just do an onside kick here? I'm just being serious, folks.
Well, you got nothing to lose. You're down 21. You need to steal possessions.
We've done it before, and it's worked.
It's slippery. It's wet.
I'm just saying, but I'm not saying.
I hear you.
I don't have anything in my ears. I don't have any little. I'm just saying, just to say it, this would not be a bad time to go ahead and recover one here.
I don't disagree.
The pink-clad Raider faithful are very, may I say, jazzed. We'll see if we can get some more for them. There it is! Onside kick, but right into the hands of one of their studs up front at midfield. And I agree so much, Raider coaches. That was beautifully done. But it kind of went right at him. And Sam Fulton, one of the senior linebackers, was there. Take a peek at this one, Owen, if you can.
Yeah, it was a good execution. You get a nice amount of bounces on that, but you just can't beat stellar hands. When you got pillow hands like that, there's no opportunity to force a bounce or anything. I mean, that was a good play by the Raiders, but just a better play by the hands team. He certainly was not watching Brandon Bostic film before the game.
That's for sure. Dropped a Brandon Bostic on me on a Friday night. Raider coaching staff and the boys, they had the right idea, no doubt. I'm proud they gave it a shot. And now here's a effort from midfield. It's going to give Adebayo room. 30, 25 carries a man. Creed Peterson nearly stripped that thing out of there. But that's a 30-yard run for Adebayo. And again, steals a little of our thunder, doesn't it?
Well, he's more than half of the way to a touchdown on this drive, just on this one play alone. Just great awareness to know where to go. A nice little stiff arm there, short stiff arm, and just a great play. But going back to that onside kick, I agree. Even because the probability says you're probably not getting that, but it's something you need to do. So even if it doesn't go your way, it was the right move to make.
You could just, it would have been so cool to see us strike right back after that onside. Here's Sims again, completes a pass wide to the right side, and first catch of the night for Alex Stanley, another senior, and he makes a grab and he comes up just short of the first down marker, I believe. We'll take a peek at it again as Sims got loose out right side again.
Yeah, good throw. Plenty of space. Little too soft of coverage there, but a nice wrap-up tackle by Peterson.
He's really been tackling well tonight. I've been really, really impressed with the way Creed Peterson has stepped up on the outside today and really made his presence felt. Sims gives off again to Adebayo. Can't arm tackle him, and we found out why. He'll get an extra 3-4 yards after Sorensen tried to take him down with the arm. That's just not going to happen. But what I like there, Sorensen went right up to Adebayo after the play, kind of smacked him on the belly a little bit, saying, "Hey, attaboy." Again, that's what I like about these two teams. It's not always the best game or result at the end, but these two teams get along pretty well, and that's kind of fun to see on a Friday night, no matter what the score is.
Well, this is not your average high school football game. I mean, there is, I don't want to say bad blood because there's nothing too negative about it, but both teams want to win this one a little bit more than the other games on the schedule.
That's for sure. Hastings at home especially. We're getting closer. Oh, there was the Raiders coming in on a nose tackle blitz. Instead, that will end up being a completion right up the left side seam there along the Who was that? Was that 87 again? The big guy? Jordan Wold, one of their tight ends, makes another grab. He got down towards the goal line earlier, and then he had that one tipped off his hands that was actually knocked away by one of our Raiders. And, yeah, Raiders, again, just that middle, it's so tough against this Cadet team. Handoff goes to Hart. He fumbles! Fumbled football! And the quarterback, Sims, falls on top of it directly to a knee. And boy, would that been something else if the Raiders would have came up with that.
Something that you need. Let's see what goes wrong on this one here.
Was it the exchange, or was it, did he really ever have a handle on it? Yeah, this might have just been the exchange right in the belly of Hart. Oh, nice job.
Oh, the exchange
there
was
too.
fine. It was a fumble by Savion Hart.
Had Tommy Kennedy in there and got his hand kind of in there to twist Hart around. That knocks it back to the 6. Not saying that's not doable by St. Thomas standards, but Raider defense isn't looking at the ball down on the goal line or anything like that. You can make a play here. 2nd down and goal.
And just before too much time has elapsed, I want to shout out Peterson on saving a touchdown on the play prior, wrapping up that tight end.
Right. He's been big. He really has. Here's a pitch out right side. Hart cuts back into the middle. I don't think he got there. He's going to be just short.
And there's a flag that came in on the far side.
False start. False start. This will go against St. Thomas Academy.
And also, I just wanted to shout out Savion Hart for that block on Raymond Hartman, who's 270 pounds, and got up underneath him and protected his quarterback. We'll take another look at the previous play here.
Nose tackle blitz that you were talking. I mean, sometimes if you can get Big Ray through there, he's going to hurt somebody. I mean, in the best way possible. I mean, he will come up and he will make a big stop. He's a big fella, plugs up the middle, and he's a guy that if he gets loose, he can get to the quarterback. You might underestimate his speed, but off the ball, if he gets into the backfield, he can cause some serious issues. He's a big boy.
Well, if I'm the Raiders, I love having a guy like that right on the ball.
All right. Now, this should be 2nd and goal, right? So the cadets are going to call a timeout. So they're going to talk it over with Coach O'Brien. And I want to let everybody know again that we're going to be back on the air on Monday here on HCTV. The Raider boys and girls soccer team will play a doubleheader here at McNamara Stadium at Todd Field. They're going to take on the Two Rivers Warriors, 5 and 7 p.m. right here at McNamara Stadium at Todd Field, but we'll also be live right here on HCTV. So join us on Channel 14 or 799 on HD or on YouTube. You can watch this game in its entirety as well in YouTube. We had a couple of little hiccups in that first half, and we appreciate those listeners who are very patient with us as we solve those issues as we bring you the broadcast. Nick Tuckner alongside Owen Ellie. We're here at Todd Field out of the timeout. The Raiders hopefully going to get a big stop here.
Well, they definitely need it. They almost forced a turnover just a couple of plays ago.
Gosh, that would be big. One more of those. Man in motion at Adebayo. Fake the pitch. Over the middle, wide open. And it's caught for the touchdown. And again, big tight end Jordan Wold. This time he gets his first touchdown. And that was just a mismatch over the middle. Big boy against a not big boy. And many times that big boy is going to get his hands on the ball first. And that's exactly what happens. And Wold is in.
Oh, Vanderhoff has had a great game. But again, that's a 5'7" individual on at least a 6-footer.
Raiders down here as Wold makes the grab, a 6-yard pass from Sims. Kick is up, and that is good. And Wilson True again for the 5th time tonight. And it's 35-7, St. Thomas Academy.
Well, here's another look at the extra point. That has been something that we haven't talked about, but Hastings did block 2 extra points in that game against Simley, and they were sure close on that one.
Special teams has been fine. I mean, that's really, from time to time, has been a bright spot over the years, and this year too, it's been, for the most part, pretty solid. But now you're kind of thinking, as Coach Strain probably thinking the same thing I am, let's get a big return here and just get right back into the face of this St. Thomas team who has not given up more than 7 points to a team this year. And now the rain is picked up in intensity, Owen. And we're getting a little deluge here now at McNamara Stadium.
Good Lord, it's like a monsoon out there.
You can really hear it, fans. Oh, yeah.
Well, this is not the best time in the world to field a kickoff, I'll tell you that. Could not have picked a more inopportune time.
Now, there's Bruce, there's Sarah. You're going to come in here, too, and I would as well.
Oh, look at the fans.
That
look at the
is
student
really
section.
Coming down.
I don't know where they think they're going.
I'm not sure, but that kickoff is going to be handled by Burrow, and he's not going to go very far. Boy, this is a heavy shower. It's not going to last very long, according to the radar. But boy, that's something else.
Well, the weather's been teasing us all day. It was supposed to rain all day, then it wasn't, and it's been pretty good throughout the entirety of the game. A little, heavy drizzle throughout, but yeah, this is
amazing.
Something else.
Well, at least it's not the other stuff that could be falling close to this time of the year.
I might rather take that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. A couple of years ago, we had the shortened COVID season that was a little later in the year. We actually had an early snowstorm. As this one goes to Burrow, and he'll get a couple. But continuing on that, we had to shovel all of McNamara Stadium. A bunch of volunteers. It was broadcasters. It was paper guys. It was coaches. It was parents, just doing that to make sure that these kids could play.
Well, that's a community coming together to support the local athletics.
As the rain continues to come down. Oh boy, I just got. I'm getting some over here now. Oh boy. Yeah, it's dripping down in here now. There we go. Yeah, we're not going to escape it either, folks. Here's the handoff to Burrow again, and he's going to generate enough power to get maybe 2 more. So we're looking at maybe 3rd and 5 or so.
Look at that! Look at that field there where the refs are just getting saturated.
Oh, it's just absolutely sheen is what the word I was looking for. Sheen. Yeah.
Oh, yep. Now I can feel that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I will say this is better than the game Saturday where it was about 85 degrees and we were up broadcasting on a solar panel at that point.
Extremely warm on Saturday. Here is Milner back to pass again, puts it up, and it's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by St. Thomas Academy, and that is number 4, Anthony Bickford. And the senior might have just ended the Raiders' evening here in this quarter. No, I don't need any, like maybe to cover that. Like that would be awesome if we could put that on just so it doesn't get in the equipment. Thank you, Bruce. That'll help us a little bit here as we're getting rain in our broadcast spot. And I don't think enough fans, now that it is raining, we might as well just go ahead and say it. We're in the tunnel, folks. And I don't think you guys, anybody realizes what HCTV has gone through today to get this broadcast on the air somehow, some way for you, whether you're on the St. Thomas or Hastings side. And
Ta-da, it's the big surprise.
Here it is, yeah. So now under center will be Erickson, and he'll hand off at Abayo. Not going to go too far. Fumble, and the Raiders get it. I think they did. Hastings has the football. The Raiders have it. Tommy Kennedy on the recovery for Hastings. So Tom Kennedy, a big play for the senior leader, and we needed that right there, Owen Ellie, big time.
Well, the rain is not very good for high-priced electronics, but it is very good for causing fumbles, and the Raiders found that out firsthand.
That's exactly. Look at Coach Strain. That smile on his face tells it all. One of his leaders making a huge play, and that's exactly what we needed there for Raider fans and more that are still here in attendance. The rain has probably done a little bit of job in scaring some of our fans back to their vehicles, if not all the way home. Berg, that time.
Well, I'll tell you this, Tuck. Anybody who is roughing us out, they are really looking for something to cheer.
Yeah, that's for sure. And another touchdown would definitely go a long ways in pulling that off and get some happy Raider fans at least back to their cars with another touchdown. Raiders out of the pistol. They will hand off. Peyton Burrow up the middle, finds room, gets across midfield, and he's going to be down around the 47. I mean, the Raiders are embracing this weather and saying, let's go here.
And this is what Burrow was all about. Again, we saw the lightning and thunder the last couple of years with Freiermuth. And with Burrow being the bell cow back, he's asked to do a lot of different things, running north to south, up the middle. But he is so good when he gets outside, just blazing speed.
He's got that speed and athleticism and toughness. He's not a big guy, but he's tough. He's a strong kid. Out of the shotgun, first down Hastings, across midfield, quick screen pass left side, Johnny Bez makes the catch, he'll step ahead, gain maybe, that might have been a face mask, gain of about 3. 35-7, fine, but Owen, it's not that type of game. I'm still gonna go home tonight and think, hey, I saw a lot of good stuff. We still got a fourth quarter to play, but I'm really impressed with how they're hanging around here with a top 5, top 10 team.
Well, I was talking with Hunter about this last night when we covered the volleyball game. You look at the box score, the Raiders lost 3 sets to nothing. But 2 of those sets were really, really close. I mean, the Raiders just have a way of, when unfortunately they do lose from time to time, they make it close. The score is not indicative.
No, you said they don't give it up, and that sounds cliche, but it's so true with this. In this community, is that one off the fingertips. Raiders again trying to get Bez on the outside, and Johnny Bezdicek tonight has had a big evening against St. Thomas, and one reason scoring that big touchdown, but he has really factored into a lot of plays, and not only offensively, but even on defense has had to make some plays. He and Cloutier really have been going both ways on the outside, and they've just done a fantastic job again.
Well, yeah. I mean, chances are, if you're there's so many two-way players in high school football. If you're good on offense, you're probably pretty good on defense as well. A lot of the same usual suspects.
And our defense, for Raider Nation anyway, has not given up a huge home run play, if you will. They've had to earn their touchdowns. This pass put up off the fingertips of one of the D-backs, and that was the aforementioned interceptor earlier on in this game, and that is Jake Borman. And he's been all over the field, offense, defense, special teams, doesn't matter. He's just trying to find ways out of the field to make an impact for the Cadets, and boy, has he ever.
Well, that's a very good point you made. The Raiders' touchdown obviously came on that giant home run. St. Thomas has had to earn these scores. There have not been any massive, there have been 20, 25, 30-yard plays from time to time, but they have truly had to earn it.
You want to score against us? Fine, but like you said, you're going to have to earn every last penny, and the Raiders have done that tonight. That's why, again, I'm going to be fine with what happens tonight. We've seen an effort. Here's Danny putting it up off left side, and there's illegal contact, but that won't be called. Or will it? And then see if a flag is on the field. This should be illegal contact. It wasn't really interference, but he impeded. Yeah, 35. Yeah, this is good. They're going to call it pass interference still, because I think more of a pick. We'll take a look at it here and see what they end up calling, or if they say indeed he interfered with Burrow. Yeah, just hands all over. Yeah, that's fine. That's pass interference.
A light two-handed shove, which might not be the biggest deal in the world, but when you're on the sideline, every inch of where you're lining up matters, and a small little shove out of bounds, it's all the difference.
I mean, it knocks them out of bounds. You can't come back in and make the play. It'd be illegal touching. You can't do that. So now, with the Raiders getting a pass interference, of course, from the spot of the play. So this is going to bring the Raiders now down to the 30. And again, if you find a way in here, you just can't be in the mode of thinking this night's over. Oh boy. And then back to Peyton Burrow it goes, and he is thrown backwards. And then some.
And Burrow shaken up a little bit.
Well, he's had a couple of big boys when he has been hit tonight and have given him a good shake. And that time, Nathan Nepstead made his presence felt on the young man. And Nepstead, he just looks like that linebacker, that prototypical neck roll, just, you know, stocky, powerful, makes a great play on a powerful runner in Burrow. And that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter.
Well, it's fitting that he's wearing a Penn State-like uniform.
Uh-oh. There we go. Kind of made a buzz there, but no, like you were saying, I mean, Penn State feel to it with the power running, I'm sure. But we'll take a quick, we're going to stay here. We'll keep it here for now. So the Raiders just, I mean, and I hate to be in this position because I've been in it before, so I understand where we're at in the game and the score that which it is and the team to which we're playing. But a lot of the cliche is true here. You know, you have to build for next week now. You have 12 minutes to really get ready for what's to come. Next week is not St. Thomas Academy, okay? I understand South St. Paul is a great group of guys. They're trying to build something special, but that's a game that the Raiders can go up there and sneak out with a win. You got to find a way here to build that momentum now in the final 12 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And the one nice thing about Hastings is that
his cord's gone. Handoff goes to Burrow, breaks a tackle to the 10-5, touchdown Raiders. Peyton Burrow in for a Raider touchdown, and folks, don't go anywhere quite yet. Burrow scampers in from 34. And slippery, maybe because of the field, but that's how Peyton Burrow runs anyway. He is slippery, he is slick, and the Raiders in for 6, and now Hastings looking for an opportunity to get back in this game. Great run from Peyton Burrow. Snap. Bobbled. Kick up. No good. Wet ball. I'm just going to blame the wet ball. So, what? Oh, they're doing the push-ups. Oh boy, are they ever! Is that what do you call that kind of push-up when you got your buddies holding you up and you're still doing? I didn't know if that was physically possible to do that, but I guess it is.
I don't know. There's a whole bunch of wacky push-ups out there. At least they're not doing Kevin Love knuckle push-ups.
Right, that's very true. And I do, all of my Raiders know I claim them all as my own kids, in quotations. And when I see those push-ups, you know, I get the dad in me that goes, oh, geez, guys. I mean, at least you're having good, clean fun, but
there's no real upside to doing those.
My kids are definitely wonderful, special, and very, very, very entertaining, and they do it with class. That's why we appreciate this group of high school kids as a community, and they're going to be fun to watch in all of their sports throughout the year. So Raiders will try a little pooch punch up the right side. They're just going to have to fall on it at the 24-yard line. So that kind of worked to the Raiders' advantage. Let's go. Let's get a big defensive play again. I'm at the point in this game where no matter what happens the rest of the way, and I'm a happy camper right now because I know if you have to play these guys in playoffs, you're going to know what it takes to beat these guys, and I think that's an important step for this group.
Yeah, you know, whether or not you come back and win here tonight, you know, we'll see. That's why they play the rest of the game. But, you know, like you said, with not allowing anything easy or anything like that, the one thing I appreciate about the Raiders, besides their effort, is that all of this is replicable.
Right.
There's nothing fluky. When they win, there's nothing fluky. It's good, honest, straight football effort. Nothing too easy.
Right. Lauber that time gaining a little ground for 8, but I mean, just the importance of finding a way to just get into next week. And with South St. Paul, too, and I haven't really dug too far into their offense, but you're going to see a lot of this same stuff. You're going to see, twins left, 2 receivers out there. From what they've done in the past, is this run from Hart will gain first down yardage, give them a gain of 6, and move the chains. First down, St. Thomas. But I don't think that, and I'm not taking anything away from the Packers and a lot of my friends and family up there, but I will say this, that they just don't have the firepower St. Thomas Academy has. And you got to understand, if you play this type of game against that team, this might be a whole different result come next weekend.
No, very true. And, you don't want to jinx it, and, a team could surprise you. But this is the hard part of their schedule.
Right.
It's conceivable that they could win out after this game.
No, I think that they could go 5-3, and that wouldn't be an issue at all, as Hart will take it up the left or right side this time, find room, and he even broke a tackle on his way out of bounds. It's a big gainer there for Hart, and that's his longest run tonight. Actually, that might be the longest run as a whole here, because Adebayo's touchdown run, his longest was 23, and I think that was his longest run of the night. So this time, Hart gets some room, and the longest run of the night for the Cadets.
You got to force him out of bounds a little bit earlier, because that's the beauty of this St. Thomas power rushing, is when you don't shy away from contact, you own the sidelines.
Right.
He's not walking out of bounds. You have to get him out of bounds.
You have to force him. That's why they always say force out of bounds. Well, yeah, you have to will with your body, and you'll see that here now as Adebayo, that first little stiff arm that bought him another 2 yards. He made the initial contact, and as a running back, when you go to contact and you're the one who initiates it, 9 times out of 10 you're going to run the guy over, and that's what Adebayo did. They got him 3 yards.
Well, these St. Thomas running backs, I'll tell you, they have a stiff arm that would make Sean Alexander blush.
You're right. One of the best in the business. Oh, and Ellie drops a Sean Alexander after earlier dropping more names that I just haven't thought about in the last 8 to 10 years. This one handed off to Lauber. Oh, the big fella up the middle carries a couple of would-be tacklers up the middle. And Lauber, the big H-back / fullback, whatever you want to use him as, he will get into bruising formation here, and he gains about 14 that time.
I really wonder how these backs for St. Thomas feel after the game. I mean,
right?
It's the beauty of being young, I suppose. So maybe they don't feel as bad as I think they feel, but boy, that's just a punishing style of play. It's darn effective, but that is punishing.
Raiders do have a couple of subs in the game, too. St. Thomas hands off. Oh, Hart had it. He fumbled it. He fell right on top of it. Came out of his hands. Raiders also sent a man in there late to get a body on him there, and that was Brady Nickel, who really is stepping up and playing a pretty good football season in his own right. And then who got him around the ankles there? That was 54 for the Raiders, who stepped up to make the play there, and that was Lucas Sorensen. And he, too, he's been kind of on defense and on special teams. He's been in and out of there all night long.
Well, and I like that play there from Nickel, too, because that was barely a tackle. That was like a two-handed shove.
And again, gang tackling. We've talked about it at times. Oh, throughout this game, option pitch out left side. Oh, and he breaks the tackle and goes into the end zone. Hart in from 7. And that will give St. Thomas the victory tonight, more than likely. On that option pitch, just got him into space, and I think that's what they needed there, is to open up a little bit of room outside, and that's all Hart needed to go in for the touchdown. And now the extra point try from Wilson, who has been true all night. He will try for his 6th extra point kick. Snap, high, spot, great. Kick hit the upright, and I jinxed him. Sorry, St. Thomas fans. I'm a Raider. Come on. Anyway, so doinked it, and that's all right. The score now 41-13. Take another look. Being a kicker is one of the toughest positions to play on a football field. People might say, oh, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. The pressure that is put on you as a kicker is immense. And a lot of these guys that kick now, or girls for that matter, of course, Sammy Williams kicks for the Raiders as well. These kids, they kind of, I don't want to say relish the pressure, but they kind of do. You got to be kind of a special person to be a kicker on a football team.
It's kind of like being a goaltender in hockey. You're probably just a weird person.
Thank you. See, Owen, he doesn't even know that I'm a goalie, and he totally proved what all of you Hastings folks have known for so many years.
It's just my intuition. But I would like to shout out what we have 216 viewers, and that's the second most in HCTV sports history.
Well, hey, we know there's a big audience, especially with the weather, and that's why we do this stuff, folks. And again, people like Biermeyer Financial Services, those people are the ones that put these games on the air, so get out there, thank them, spend a little money with them, planning, all that stuff. Here we go, as we'll bring it back up the right side, and that's going to be Bezdicek. He finds room, cuts back into the middle a little bit, but in that little lane closed up fast, but a nice return nonetheless. Johnny Bezdicek again, and really tonight, and a lot of tonight has done with number 10 more than anything, and really gone through number 10 if the Raiders have wanted to get something going.
Well, he certainly doesn't care about the score. He's out there making plays regardless.
And here is our wonderful sponsor in Biermeyer Financial Management. Retirement planning and expertise, Biermeyer Financial Management. We thank you for your sponsorship of HCTV Sports. And hey, like Take a Hike Mike said earlier, if you want to be part of these broadcasts too, let us know. Find us on HCTV on Facebook, Twitter, or email us. Here's a handoff that goes to Peyton Burrow, and he'll again sneak up the middle. He's quietly going to have a pretty darn good game offensively, I think, when we look at his stats from Dick Craig at the end of this one.
Yeah, the offense goes through him. I mean, they've been passing the ball a decent amount, but again, this offense starts and stops with Burrow. Obviously, a shout out to the sponsors. Hard to do it without them, and all the people tuning in. I mean, if nobody tuned in, then we wouldn't be here.
Right. We have so much fun, folks, bringing you these games, and hopefully we can get things going if you're a Raider fan next week. Here's a pass put up Milner, put some air under it. Oh, and he almost had a big completion there. Let's see who that was. Was it Rico Cooper? It was Rico. And they're going to get an interference call out of this, too.
Yeah, I saw the ref on the back end shuffling with that flag.
At first, I didn't think that. I thought that was Cody Ellsworth. He's listed as a quarterback, of course, backup quarterback, defensive back. I thought it was number 5, and I'm like, wait a minute. But nope, that was Rico, and he ends up drawing a flag as well. So this will get us going a little bit further in the right direction. And now across midfield. And this is going to give the Raiders an opportunity to really make this thing look respectable, too, on the scoreboard after nobody's been able to score more than 7 points. They've given up only 7 coming into this game through 3 games. So if the Raiders can punch another one in here and really make this look good, they're going to have something in their back pocket once they get to playoffs and they have to see these guys again. Out of the gun, Milner. 3 receivers bunched up left side. Burrow. Looked like he was going to go out for a screen pass, and Milner, quarterback draw. Perfect. Up the middle he goes, gains, big bad spot. Gave him only 2.
Couple of bad spots here tonight.
Yeah, we've had a couple of those. For the most part, though, tonight, the penalties have not really been crushers for the Raiders, so both sides really. I mean, the penalties have not really cost one team or the other the game, or made it for the other, really. It's been all these 2 teams gritting it out here now in the 4th quarter with 7:29 to go and a 41-13 Academy lead. Handoff Burrow, he goes nowhere. He is chewed up and spit out at the line of scrimmage by number 90, Cesar Chena Burton, and he is a senior defensive lineman now in the game, and he comes up with a big tackle for loss.
Well, the silver lining there was good ball security from Burrow just going down. You had 2 other defenders coming in. You got to figure that they were going to try to strip the ball. So sometimes it's better just to kind of forfeit it down there and just live to play another down.
That's right. Raiders going to do that here. This is 4-down territory anyway. 6:43 to go here in the game. Raiders down 41-13. Back to pass. Milner on 3rd down. Puts it up left side. Has a man. It's caught. Johnny Bezdacek again. He, too, having a game. And he is not going quietly tonight, Owen Ellie. No way.
No, that is just a good throw. Even better catch. And I love the attitude right here. Watch this. Head to head. Says, get off me. Looks like he was trying to do a little judo throw there.
I don't think Bez wrestles, but that there would have made Coach Hanneberg smile pretty big. So nice little effort there by Bezdacek to close the play strong. He was the aggressor.
I really love this kid. I really love watching this guy play.
I love watching him run track even as the handoff here fumble. Raiders lose the ball. Is that Circle Glue that got it too? 35. And that's actually Bennett Kotak. He's been in the game on and off throughout the night too, but that is the nail there that got us, as we now know what St. Thomas will do, and that is eat the clock and run the football the rest of the way here and probably send us home here momentarily. And a lot of credit to the St. Thomas Academy team. They're as good as advertised, but you can't say anything bad about what our Raiders have done. They have played extremely well for the circumstances they have tonight and the team they're playing against. And I'll say it flat out, and many will agree with me, and probably many that are even associated with the Cadets. They should be playing 6A football. And I think they and Cretin-Derham Hall and a couple of the other big private schools should definitely, it's time. It's time to make that jump, I think, and St. Thomas has proven it here in this particular district and section for a while, as this one now ends up going up the right side, and Hart's trying to get into open territory, and he breaks that last tackle, and he's gone. Hart takes it to the house, and that one hurts a little bit.
Yeah, that's salt in the wound a little bit. I mean, obviously you're going to run the ball, you're going to run the clock down a little bit, but I mean, I guess when they give you a touchdown, you take a touchdown.
Hart's second in as many drives. I'm not changing my initial statement either.
All right.
I'm still proud of my boys. I just think that next week will be a different story, folks. It really will be, and we're going to see a full 4 quarters of both sides of the football. And then this St. Thomas team, I mean, not just taking the ball away, taking the clock away, and then Hart with that wonderful run. I mean, how many missed tackle? I mean, that were just broken tackles. I mean, that was just a fabulous run.
It seemed like the majority of the team was near him at some point during that play, and he just kind of weaved his way in and out.
Raider fans trying to stay positive here. The rain, the monsoon, I should say, finally ended. Thank goodness.
If it rained anymore, you and me would have to jump in that pirate boat right there. Float out of here.
There's been games where we're pretty close, so we've had to do that. But tonight, that deluge for a while caught us, I think, everybody off guard, even the people in the stands that came dressed appropriately. That was a pretty good 10, 15 minutes of steady downpour. But now, looks like the rain is actually done to go from what we had a little bit ago to now. 48-13 your score. Raiders will try to return another one. And Majetic the up back, and he gets leveled. Oh boy, big tackle on special teams, and that's a number I haven't seen tonight for St. Thomas. His name is Cyrus Anderson. He wears the number 88. And a big stop there as he gave him a little bulldog and What did Bill Goldberg used to call that move? The spear? Yeah, that's exactly what that was right there. That was as close to a spear as you'll see on Friday nights.
I just upended him and then just kind of flipped him over sideways. But, to the, motif of what we've been talking about here, this is a respectable performance by Hastings.
Yeah.
If they had the advantages that St. Thomas has, maybe we'd be going to overtime right now. And, kind of like I talked about with Simley, the schedule is going to get a little bit easier, and it's going to, when you go up against these really elite teams, I mean, St. Thomas could win it all this year. Simley could win it all this year. And not just saying that is a very legitimate possibility. The next couple of games are going to be a lot easier. It's like swinging a weighted bat. I mean, so who knows? Maybe they come out and drop 48 on whoever they're playing next week.
I'd love to see Simley St. Thomas. I think that might be a fun game to watch with really both those two teams with so much athleticism in all phases. That would be a very interesting game to take in. Raiders will take on South St. Paul up at Ettinger. Back to pass. Milner was hammered, and it's incomplete. Nearly intercepted on the play. Clock is now running due to the disparity in score of 35 points. So here in the fourth quarter, we are now at running time. But again, Raiders' first team to score over 7 points on this defense have not played like the 48 points it shows on the scoreboard. The defense has actually played a lot better than the numbers will show, and you can call me a homer or cliche artist, but it's been very true, and I advise you to take the couple of hours, go back and watch the tape and find out exactly what we're talking about here. Movement along the line. They get straightened out to where they needed to be. Peyton Burrow gets out to the 30. Under 4 minutes, the clock will continue to run. 3rd and long for Hastings.
And, truthfully, you can't win them all, and hopefully this team has the right attitude about, this 2-game losing streak, because, if you go about it the right way, you can learn a lot more from your losses and what you did wrong, as opposed to, everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to, learn from mistakes they make while they win games, but, sometimes you're just dealt the hand you're dealt, and I think they'll respond in the proper way, but obviously, we'll see how the rest of the season turns out.
That's the voice of Owen Ely. I'm Nick Tuckner, back here, fourth quarter. Time running down now on St. Thomas Academy. Here's a pass put up there, intercepted. And that guy's at a game. And I don't know why he's still in the game, per se, but I'm not here to really say that Jake Borman shouldn't be in there anymore in a 35-point game. But another interception for that young man, and he has had himself one whale of a football game tonight.
Well, it's welcome to the Jake Borman show, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, we got a cramp. We got a bad cramp. Johnny Bez is really cramping up, and he's smiling. So he knows it's a cramp. Help, the St. Thomas guy's helping. Yeah, you got St. Thomas guys, and there's Adebayo over there, like soothing Johnny Bez on the sidelines, making sure like I've said many times, this has been a one-sided rivalry for a very long time, but it's not a dirty rivalry at all. And this just shows the class of Coach Dan O'Brien, who I can tell you from just personally in getting to know Coach O'Brien that he is a fantastic human being. First of all, wonderful family, of course, his son Casey and his struggles that we have all been duly noted with the Gopher football team for as long as he's dealt with them. And Coach O'Brien, a former Gopher player himself, but he has really brought St. Thomas to even another level to which even Coach Dave Zebarth for so many years did here on the sidelines for St. Thomas. But boy, Coach O'Brien has really found a stranglehold of whatever it is, and he has put it together again here for this Cadets team. And unfortunately, as you look at Sliv McGree, now there's a stud muffin right there with that black sweatshirt on. Sliver McGree out there, of course, our East Rink named after Sliv McGree. When you hear McGree Rink at Hastings Civic Arena, he is the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Sliv McGree.
Now that is an interesting little bit of insight there on Coach O'Brien, because such a common name. I guess I didn't draw the comparison
right.
with the Gophers. That's some interesting stuff.
And of course, Casey, his story was so well done, and again, just the apple does not fall far from the tree. You know, you have good parents, you many times have good kids. Delay a game here against St. Thomas, as we now have a new quarterback in the game for the Cadets to close this one out, and that is going to be number 17. That's Chase Young. He's only a sophomore, so we'll see him the next couple of years, I'm sure, as he'll get his taste of varsity football here. They're going to move him back, though, but yeah, this is a good team. I mean, this is a team that, you know, we'll probably see again. You know, just looking at our section, I don't want to take anything away from Kennedy, but I have a feeling that, you know, as it has in many years past, we're going to see these guys in the semis and the finals. It's just how it's going to work.
Well, interesting to see Young play here when he's got a game on Sunday with the Commanders.
That's true. Same name. Yeah, well. Ah, boy. It's actually our first game doing together, but I think we've had fun, and his name drops have all been quality. You know, so, or comparisons, or other names that are the same as other NFL players. I mean, come on, man. You're full of good stuff, Owen. That's just...
Listen, I'm just trying not to get in trouble with any of these references. I'm just trying to calculate the numbers in my head and not say anything stupid.
Well, you've done a mighty fine job tonight, my man, as we hit the fourth quarter with 1:49 to go. As we said, St. Thomas Academy will let the air out of the football here. Another penalty, but we'll see what this is all about. Looks like that the St. Thomas offense again jumped just a little bit early. So the clock will stop for a moment anyway.
Well, I nearly jumped a little bit early because the way that flag came in on the screen, it looked like we were watching an IMAX movie or something. Thought it was going to come out of the TV screen.
Well, the quality of televisions. Oh, now look at that. Well,
now you've done it.
Now we're getting to that. Now, who did that on purpose? That must be Mike Bramer up there. Is that Ian? I know where he's going after the game. Ian, if you don't give me a heart steak, I'm going to be very depressed. I was telling Owen before the game the importance of having a heart steak and toast at the Stube. And he's never been there, but you folks out there that are Raider Nation faithful, you all know what I'm trying to tell the young man, and I'm trying. Here's the handoff, and it goes out the left side, not for much at all. And there is the aforementioned Cody Ellsworth coming in on defense to get a hit there. That's nice to see. Backup Raider quarterback also out there defensively. So now we go under a minute, and this should pretty well do it here. They're going to run the clock down as far as they can. They might even take another penalty. And then we will move on to week 5 already? I mean, are you kidding me?
Time flies when you're having fun.
Week 5 already next week? My goodness, folks. I want my fall, though. Here's the handoff. Won't go very far either. And this is probably another guy you'll see on the JV game. Tomorrow, I want to say JV plays. I don't want to confirm it. Is it tomorrow or no? It got canceled. Oh, did it? Oh, cool. Okay. So, hey, weekend of rest. Gotcha. Yeah. Just as long as everybody is ready to go for next week. And that's the next time we will see all of you folks as well, I believe. Maybe you'll see it. We'll let you know. We'll keep in touch with all you fans here over the next couple of days, let you know about our broadcast schedule. But we do have soccer coming up. We want to make sure that you guys know about that as well. Take a peek at just some of the big plays tonight. And this one from Erickson. Oh, and this was, again, kind of a big play and really a turning point in the game, I thought, as Erickson rolled out.
Yeah, that, whether or not it was a legitimate touchdown, neither here nor there, but the play itself, tremendous. You got to give it to St. Thomas on that one.
Milner finding Johnny Bezdicek, and as he got into open space, I think everybody on both sides knew nobody was catching him. A big touchdown catch, 65 yards, but St. Thomas Owen came right back.
Yeah, well, Bezdicek, he's a runner, he's a track star, and there's Wold, the tight end, on that 5'7" defensive back right there. A little bit of a mismatch, but
a big boy, and of course the defense trying to make a big play for St. Thomas to keep the Raiders out of the end zone, maybe keep that 7 points given up to teams right there, but the Raiders and Burrow break out of there, and then Erickson took over on that pitch to Savion Hart.
Yeah, well, the first half it was all Love Adebayo. Second half it was all Savion Hart, and so impressive too. I mean, the play itself is very impressive, but then you also factor in the fact that it looked like he was done for the game in the second quarter, and he's out here just running like a gazelle.
A great game. I mean, like I said, you might not like the score tonight if you're a Raider fan, but you all know and understand big picture stuff, and this was not as what the scoreboard indicated. The Raiders played well in many facets. We'll talk about that throughout the week. I know that. We will have more, of course, leading in. We have the big soccer doubleheader coming up on Monday. You're going to want to be sure to tune in there. I'm sure some of the fellows will have more on what's coming up in our broadcast schedule and all that fun stuff, too. But Owen, it's been fun, man. I mean, it's a great first game for us two working together. I appreciate you, and hopefully you had a great time, and I hope to see the Raiders really bounce back as we head into next week.
Absolutely. Well, listen, it feels like Shaq and Kobe got together when these two mammoths get together to broadcast. I mean, this worlds collide here. So, yeah, no. But, yeah, this was a good game again. Like so many athletic events, the box score is not going to tell the whole story here. It's not going to tell you the effort and the heart and the resilience of Hastings to keep in there. So
that's the mailman, Owen Ely.
Always delivering.
He's always delivering, folks. He's here alongside me. I'm Nick Tucker. You guys know me, voice of the Raiders last 20 years. Thank you for joining us, fans, and we will be with you in another game coming up here. Hastings, they fall tonight, but again, we'll move on to Week 5. Thanks for joining us from McNamara Stadium at Todd Field. This has been Minnesota High School Football on Hastings Community Television.